Wake up, America. It's the after show. It's the comm center with Jonathan Bates, kind of. This is what I'm testing out, Chase. Will there be an after show intro? Possibly. All right, guys. Welcome to the after show. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful Thursday evening. Hopefully that got you jazzed up and excited. The song always makes me excited, especially hearing the OG full version like that. It builds a little bit more energy, takes its time to get you excited, gets you all worked up, and then kind of lets you down at the end because it's just me. But how you guys doing? How are you tonight? Let's address some of the chats real quick before we get going. First of all, I wanted to thank everybody that's here. We got 12 right away, so that helps us start the show. Historically, I have not done the after show if there's fewer than 10 people here because that just shows there's no interest in it. However, on one occasion, I started the after show when there was only 3 people here, just to kind of be nice, like, oh, I'll just say hi and then I'll leave, and then because it will be bad for our YouTube type of retention, it will just be deleted. But then we ended up getting like 22 that night or something. Like, people drop in later. It's the late night show that just keeps going, even though John's tired and wants to leave. He just keeps on going. All right. So Tyler, one of my favorite people from Canada, out there saying the truth is out there, Scully. Hello, boys. I'm back. I commissioned a new butter emoji for Amy. She actually has got 2 just because I was trying to merge them together, the USDA shield and the butter, and it couldn't be done. So she just gets 2 for now. I had an extra space anyway. Something else I want to do real quick. I compiled something. I wanted to just say thank you to all our members. We do have a lot of members right now that are here as a gift of charity on the part of Tyler, me, Lauren, some others. I wanted to give you guys a warning that if you're here and you're a member and you get that membership as a gift, that's going to expire at some point, and a lot of stuff is going to be closing down to you. What's going to be happening is that the Monday morning show for sure will be going to members only. Those of you who are familiar with our great grandpa podcast, remember that they had a Monday show that was closed to members only. It was one of the best shows they had on that network, and it was just something. It was a treat. It was a treat for the people that pay to be here. So, for the month that you've got the gift membership, you get to see all this stuff. You get to see what you get to enjoy. But then, if you let that lapse, then, which is okay. Like I said during the show or one of these shows, that if you just like us as a friend, it's okay to let that lapse. But something I wanted to bring up is I wanted to thank our first 42 members. This is the order in which I love you all. So I'm just going to have that scrolling probably the rest of the night. This is the order in which everyone signed up. Some of you, like I said, are here because you chose to be here. Others here as a gift of charity of others, but that's okay. All right. Oh, Canada. Yes, we have so many Canadian followers that we have a Canadian emoji. You've always been out there, Canadians, supporting us from afar and from above. So something else I wanted to bring attention to. Abby, earlier in the chats, if Abby's here, is Abby here? Because I won't bring this up if Abby's not here. But Abby's got something going on that she needs to know about. I'll wait to see if Abby's here. If she's not here, then I'm not going to bring it up. All right. I'm here. All here may proceed. Dana better be in the episode. I kind of learned my lesson after last week. We all love Dana as the lesson. The other lesson is that as long as I have like cords draped across the room and stuff, I can't really have a dog that just does whatever the fuck she wants at all times running around in here. So maybe I'll bring her in towards the end once, the following has fallen off. That way I'm not disappointing so many people all at once. I have also gotten a beverage right away. Iced tea. Also, I did get my air conditioning temporarily repaired, so it is not hot as balls down here. So I'm not suffering like I was last week. So that's good. There was one more thing that just slipped my mind. This is the new TGIF. I know it is, right? Except it's the new TGIF, but I let you guys still have your Friday. You guys can still go out and do the things you want to do on Friday as adults. Deadbolt Dame, it's good to see you. Cupcakes and cameos, your old nom de guerre. You've switched it up as one wants to do sometimes. When I was first getting to know the Wolfpack on the old network, I used to switch up my name every single week. When does the after show start? Captain, sometimes I'm on the air until 1 a.m. Eastern time. I think my marathon sessions have lasted 4 hours before. So if I'm putting in more airtime than like Conan O'Brien, I think that's the after show right there. Although last week, I did technically leave in the middle to go get a drink, so I should have just closed the show and then started another one. Have y'all heard the song "You Missed" by Tom McDonald? I have not heard that song. Should we listen to it? I would just play it, but copyright exists, so. Which I played the song at the beginning of this episode because I wanted to see if we'd get dinged on copyright. I'm sure we have a license to play that song because we play it in every single friggin' episode. But I've learned what I've learned since recording the special material that's going to be for members only is that YouTube just does whatever the hell it wants. And sometimes you can be using a piece of material that you've used for a long time, and then all of a sudden YouTube's just like, oh, wait, yep, you're in violation of copyright. For example, the last episode of Night Shift that I did, I tried to use the original intro theme that on that nice intro that was compiled by Elijah, the underpaid producer, and it got blocked. It said that that I couldn't use that theme. I'm like, we used that theme for 7 or 8 months of episodes, so. YouTube does whatever it wants, and I'm going to take a risk. And if it allows the music, if it doesn't give us any grief about it, I'll probably make an intro just because I like having that 3 minutes to kind of warm up. Just answer those questions. I need to check it out. I've only seen or heard the 50 Cent covers. Yeah, you guys know me. I love me some 50 Cent. I love what's funny is that one of his first albums was like the big album the year I graduated from high school, and I've still never heard it. Have you ever watched Cowboy Bebop? I'm not an anime guy, to be honest. Not real into anime. I can't understand it. One time I was at work at 911, and I was in there in the middle of the night, and this was years ago when nothing was going on in the middle of the night. But I decided, I don't really like this coworker, and I decided to go into the kitchen and clean out the whole kitchen because the kitchen's constantly filthy. And I come back to the communications room, and he's in there watching some weird anime, like on a Fire Stick or something. I don't know, thumb drive or something. And it's like this little person guy who's like in the bosom of a gigantic lady. So it's like this guy's like, no, and he's got big, big tits, right there on either side. I'm just like, God damn, Reed, you're so weird. Oh, and he just laughed, and I'm like, you're horrible. Anyway, he's dead now, so I don't mind talking about it behind his back. He doesn't care. He's gone. I paid my way, damn it. I know you did, Chase. No comments are meant towards you. If you paid your way, you are not. You guys are good. Everyone's good, but I mean, just don't worry about it. Guess I'll just need to keep gifting. Tyler, I don't care if you keep gifting. If you want to bring every single commando with you on your dime, that's fine. That's up to you, Mountain Films, I think you may be the only non-member in the chats. You're a moderator, though, so it's okay. You can't use any of the emojis, though. Isn't that weird that moderators can't use emojis? That makes no sense. Felony Melanie, number 3. You know what that means, though, for you, Felony? It means you were sleeping on the job. You're someone that, as soon as my podcast drops on a Monday or Friday, you instantly, as soon as the runtime of that episode is done, you immediately send me a message about it. And last week, you sent me some message about something, and you're sending me a message, and you're like, you told me something, and I'm like, haha, yeah, I don't know, because I don't know what the hell you were talking about. It was because you had listened to my episode before I did. I'm like, yeah, I think I recorded that like 10 days ago, so I don't really remember that. So, Melanie, uh, you know, a lot of people could say something about who's the number one fan around here, but just in terms of speed, you're usually number one. The seafood boil really didn't go well, as some of you can imagine. That's all I'll say about it. And Drew, I've been fasting this week actually to increase my crankiness and to help lose some weight and to battle some depression. Actually, I'm taking a break from eating regularly. I did break my fast before the show just so I wasn't weary tonight. I went out and met up with an old friend, and I had a taco salad, so it was something that was good for me for the most part. But the seafood boil didn't go well. And then something else happened with the seafood boil I should tell you about later. But it's a secret seafood boil secrets that only you get to know about, Drew. Which, by the way, Drew, you and I on Monday, we were having the morning show, and I told you that I would tell you about the reason why I got hauled into the office. And you said, I'm holding you to it, buddy. And then we had a brief meeting about the future of the company. And then you said, I grow tired of you. And then you left. You did not care why I got hauled into the office. I'll just bring this up as a point of humor. If it lasts more than 4 hours, you may need to see a doctor. That's very funny. And also true. Let's not even make this about priapism. Like I was dying because I'm tired. Part of the reason why I was late in the chats tonight, though, I didn't show up until 8:30, till after the show had began, because I came home and I didn't have too much going on, and I had just eaten for the first time in 48 hours, and I was feeling pretty good. And so I laid down and I took a little napsy. So I've slept. I slept for probably an hour and a half. So I'm feeling okay. So if I do go a full 4 hours, we don't need to consult a physician. All right, you guys can settle this on your own. You don't need me to broker this deal about how long is long enough or too long. Wait, I had to tuck in the cats. What's the rankings on screen? Salamander, these are the order in which everyone joined the show. So it tells me, when everyone signed up and how long ago. There's some people on this list actually that I don't know. I don't know who Bradley B is. I don't know who Unpaid Bill is. Flat Cat. I don't know who that is. So we got some people who have probably been gifted memberships for watching. Pyramid 7. I don't know who that person is. Kendra J Rama. I don't know who that person is. Maria C. Peter T. Moist Breadcrumb. I don't know who these people are. Joseph, I've seen around. Shreezy, I've never seen. Life and Death, never seen them. Bone Cold, yeah. And then number 38, Curious. Abby has 2 memberships for some reason. Don't tell her. and that brings us all the way up to April in 41st place. So these are the memberships at the bottom. They are also the order in which I love you. And it's easy for me to do that since I'm in first place. Happened on Rocco's Modern Life, but it was a hippo instead of a lady. I remember that. Rocco's Modern Life was one of those shows where like it passes all the tests of being a kid's show, and then that happens. Yeah. Yeah, he woke up the other morning. Drew, I don't know if you saw this. We were communicating with someone who wants to officially interact with the show. And I told him that I would pass along a word to you about it, but that you were certainly asleep because you like to wake up at 5 a.m. to mow your lawn. I don't know if you saw that. Rocco's Modern Life was okay. I don't know if it was the best. I'm definitely higher than 11 on that list. Maybe in terms of esteem, but not in terms of signing up because you were beaten to the punch. You know what it does. What matters is this, Salamander. You're going to feel bad for being in 11th place, which, by the way, means you rank out in Mario Kart. I just want to put that in there for context. But someday we're going to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of members, and you guys are going to be like the OG 100 or the OG 50 or whatever, and it'll still be prestigious. And Salamander, I saw you in the chats earlier saying that you go around and tell people about pretty much the shows that I do. So, I appreciate that, by the way. And I believe that you do that. I believe that you do tell people about it. Other people say, yeah, I'll tell other people about the show, but they never do. Which reminds me, if you're watching the show right now, click like. Something very curious happened to me earlier tonight. Remember when I said I was having Mexican food with a friend? She had her son with her, and her son is, I'm going to say 8 because I'm not good at guessing ages. I can guess how much a child weighs, but I'm not good at how old they are. He was about, uh, 80 pounds because he's a big boy. But anyway, I'm not trying to make fun of the kid. But he was talking to me about how much he loves YouTube. And this is incidental of nothing. And I said, you love YouTube? Yeah, he loves it. And I was trying to explain to him, can you imagine what a world would be like without YouTube? It is just like, oh, no. And I'm like, well, when I was your age, YouTube didn't exist. And then, so we kind of go through it. And I didn't throw this out right away. I'm like, I don't know if you know this, but when it comes to YouTube, I'm kind of a big deal. So his mom pulled up Comm Center on her phone, and all of a sudden he's looking at me on the screen watching YouTube of past videos of me doing Comm Center, and he's like transfixed. He's sitting there watching it. Like at one point, his mom says, like, okay, that's enough. You're kind of being rude. And he like won't put the phone down. I'm like, dude, I'm right here in real life. How could you like me better on the phone than you do right here? Like, but the idea that he could be looking at YouTube and see the person who's eating dinner with him right across from him, he thought that was amazing. But he came up with a very stinging comment. You know how children say the darndest things, as Art Linkletter would say? He was watching one of my videos that had 69 views or something, and he goes, a lot of people hated it. I'm like, what do you mean by that? He goes, well, you only got 12 likes. I'm like, shit, you're right, kid. Like 69 people watched it, but only 12 people liked it. So if you're watching right now, please click like. I know that I've been needy lately, right? Like I'm like, sign up, become a member, hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment. But I got little kids dogging on me because I don't have likes now. So this is a kind of a new low for me. So if you would click like, that'd be okay. I might enjoy that. Chase will be right back. I guarantee you I'll still be here, Chase, when you get back. No, because then Kendra would be like 2 or 3 fighting felony, and Drew's like number 5. It's literally the order in which you signed up. You guys can argue about it. I got the stats literally from YouTube. Unpaid Bill is a great screen name. Yeah, I just don't know. Michael Hendricks said I'll just keep scrolling throughout the night. Why are these people not in the chat? Send an email. Unacceptable. I can tell you why they're not in the chats. Because some people are just watching and they're not people who chat ever. But YouTube detected them as people that are here often enough where if there's gift memberships floating around more so than there's number of people in the chats, it's not just going to not cash that money in. Like, so it'll be like, oh, well, we'll just send the membership out to people who've watched your show. And so these people will get emails saying, hey, you've been gifted a membership to the Comm Center, and it will remind them that Comm Center exists, which is okay, because maybe it will encourage them to come back and see what their membership does. So it's okay. Amy, you can't believe you're 12? You can't believe you're that low, or you can't believe that you're that high? Amy, you have said that this is your favorite podcast on earth. So, I don't know. But 12, all of these numbers are all good numbers. These are not bad numbers. So don't worry about it. If you're worried about your ranking, first of all, there's a couple things you can do about your ranking. Number one, outlast the other people, which means continue to pay for memberships, right? Some of these people, they don't even know who I am. I would guess some of these people have seen Comm Center 1 or 2 times, and they'll get that email and they'll be like, delete. And they don't care. And then when they get their email, like, oh, hey, do you want to keep continuing to be a member of Comm Center? They'll be like, delete. And so they'll move upwards in line. So yeah, I mean, we've got some people in the top 10 there that are pretty solid, but I would suggest to you that if you want to move up in the rankings, just hang in there. Like if you're my own sister, if you're number 15 and you're mad that you got beaten by Ghoul Droid, that Ghoul Droid is more of a family member to me than you are, Christy. And I happen to know that Christy was gifted a membership. She could just hang in there, Michael Hendricks says cigarettes and beignet. Again, beignet, kind of a placeholder one for now, I guess. I told all of Dispatch about Comp Center. Thank you. I appreciate it. Can you guess how much the child can lift? Well, it's a simple matter of weight ratios, right? It's according to Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So honestly, Amy, I can't believe I'm in fourth because I was driving around during the show, pulled over for a coffee and joined. Yeah, well, you had the speed advantage. Roman Antwood, perfect dude, idiots. Something about Roman Atwood I really don't like. I don't like him either. You know why? Because I don't know who the hell that is. No idea. I don't know if he's someone in the chats or he's someone I should be otherwise know. Amy, is that why you're in 12th place? Is because you were waiting for a debit card? My client has a channel with like 400,000 subscribers, and my son seems to think he's a celebrity, which he kind of is, a nerd celebrity. Yeah, if you get up to 400,000, you're a big deal. Here's the thing. I would have to discuss this with Drew, and this is by no means legally binding, but like if we became that big of a deal, would I even be able to stay on the show? Because it's like I'm trying to keep kind of a low profile. Like I don't mention my agency or where I live. Like, I try to like stay away from these things. If I became a real big deal, like, and lots of people were seeing me and all my far right-wing extremist rhetoric, I just wonder how it would affect the rest of my life. But luckily I have children keeping me humble. I was one of those watchers and not chatters. Well, thank you for jumping in and chatting, Tyler. You have something to offer, so I'm glad that you're chatting. I was never even a lurker. When I first started out with the Grandfather podcast, I was just listening on Spotify. I was never much of a YouTube guy. I didn't see any value in like looking at their faces. Like particularly Eric's, no offense to Eric, but it's tough on the eyes. What number are you on Hard Time? It doesn't get, Felony, we've discussed this on Hard Time. It doesn't tell me who the subscribers are unless you opt in and say like, oh, I don't mind sharing my email address. I've got subscribers that I don't know who they are. That's why I did the magnet drive to kind of try to get you guys to come out of the woodwork a little bit to reveal yourselves for the receiving of a magnet. So I could learn who you are, just to kind of understand who you are, who you guys are, and reward you also for being members. And so that paid off a little bit. I think I was able to figure out who most of the members are, but I don't know the order over there. But I'm sure you're number one or number two, probably you and Salamander neck and neck. So who knows? And this family, we chat, damn it, we remain dysfunctional together. Yeah, there's no choice. We're like the blue bloods. We have to eat at the dinner table. I only pay for Comcentra, FTS, and sometimes Speak the Truth podcast. I've never seen the last one. Maybe I should give it a shot. To get lifted membership, you need to hit a button. Lifted or gifted, yeah. I just dumped my FTS last week. Oh. Some of us still work there. Maybe some of us can afford to be here on Com Center because we're supported by other things. So let's, make sure that we skillfully manage being a member of both of those things so that I can directly profit from those. I actually don't directly profit from memberships over at FTS. I get paid a flat rate, but if the show ceases to exist, so will my paycheck. So where is Hard Time on YouTube? There is a Hard Time YouTube channel. I'll see if I can find a link for you. Hold on, buddy. What do we got? All right. Thank you for bearing with me as I perform a task. Oh, I'm kind of like forgetting how to do it. Oh, switch account. Hard Time, 15 subscribers. Let's check this out. Let's check out the channel. It should say go to your channel somewhere. I'm not good about dropping content here yet. We're kind of like getting there. So, but I do drop my other content that I'm making. I'm either dropping it on difficult to look at pictures on that YouTube channel, which has existed for 15 years, or this is the official Hard Time channel. I've got a link here for you now that I'm going to post in the call in the call for service. Guys, you can tell I've been at work all day. Yeah, details on your screen, boys. Which, did you guys like the graphics I threw on the screen of the join with the flashing? That was pretty cool, right? I don't know. Yeah, where did all that premium content on Patreon go? I'm curious. I watched the live of you explaining them and introducing them, but I didn't have my new card. Oh, you watched the Monday morning show where I explained the memberships? Membership is on Spotify. You get emails and YouTube links if you want to watch instead of listen, plus the member chat on Instagram. Yeah, that's a real perk. Everyone loves that. We had some people in that Instagram chat who hate my guts. There, without mentioning names, but one of them was getting on my case in the chats, and I know full well that this person does not particularly like me. I know this because he tells my friends he doesn't like me, like he doesn't think that'll get back to me. And then there was a show that I did on true crime where I was teasing him too much for his precious little feelings. And then I found out he literally called or told Eric on me that I was too mean to him. So, big old boy there basically tattling on me for hurting his feelings on a podcast. I don't know what he thought would come out of that, if he thought Eric would call me and chastise me and tell me to be nice to people, but Eric did no such thing. So, but that guy is a punk. So I don't know why he was in our chats, but he's not anymore. So now it's better. Sorry for unloading all that on you, but I just found out even more bad stuff about it that I didn't know before. Because before I thought it was silly, but then when I found out how bad it was, that he was literally, not only would he watch my shows and get in the chats, but then he tried to get me in trouble with my boss. Is it clear that he has no fucking business being around me? Why is he in my chats and annoying the female members of my audience? Why is he annoying my sister? Good questions. Anyway, moving on. I try to remain as an exclusive watcher and not a chatter. Yeah, well, you could jump into the show at any time. I get your emails. Oh, shit, I haven't sent out an email in a while, Felony. Oh. I better email you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we actually make Hard Time, so I will send out some emails. I realize, holy shit, it's been a couple weeks since I've sent out emails. That makes me feel bad. Because I was doing it every Wednesday there for a while. I was sending out emails to everybody in the subscriber list, and I was telling them fun anecdotes, sending them, nice pieces of artwork, links to videos, which, as people were canceling memberships, some people had problems with their cards. Some people hated me, and then I realized I was sending links to people for free content for stuff they weren't paying for anymore. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just make a note to send out more emails. I've got a whole page here of things I need to be doing for this show as well, some of which I've accomplished, which I'll read to you just to show you that I'm following through. So tomorrow when I do Hard Time, I will remember to send you all an email, or possibly do it tonight, possibly tomorrow. But this is everything that was on my list of everything that I needed to get done from your initial input from an after show, which, by the way, am I down at the bottom of the screen? I'll sit up straighter. You guys deserve excellent posture. You're paying for that. Some of you are. So David J wanted his emoji of the crossed cannon, which is the symbol for the gunners made in the United States Navy. I made that for him, and I texted him when I did it. I said, task complete. He's not here tonight. Let's try to pretend that that's not completely fucked up. I got the USDA emoji done. I did not get the Dave emoji done yet. I'm having trouble remembering what Dave looked like, and I'm trying to make it not generic. I got the maple leaf emoji done. I got the beard emoji done. I got April's emoji done, which is the tacos. As far as special content, I'm still looking at doing a reaction to the 911 Dispatcher and Die Hard 3. Unfortunately, being subjected to an episode of Bridgerton, possibly doing some kind of take on Law Abiding Citizen. I don't know how I'm going to do anything other than just not tear that apart. The Call is a movie that I have to be reviewing at some point. I have already done Unsolved Mysteries. So the episode from Ottawa County, I'm just waiting for the copyright thing to come through on that. Lauren wanted me to watch The Guilty, and Felony Melanie wanted me to review Top Gun Maverick. So some of those things I've done and some of those things I need to do, just so you guys know, I am staying on top of it. I've got a list here of things that I'm supposed to be doing for you. This, as opposed to some people who have memberships for various platforms and then promise things and then they never come through. At least I am once again saying what I'm supposed to be doing, and if I have forgotten something that I'm supposed to be following through on, please mention it in the chats. I will write it down. Friday's usually my big production day where I do a lot to get done. I have to go help Dewey again, help him paint his truck. He's putting racing stripes on his truck, so I have to go do that again this Saturday. So I'll be busy this Saturday, but I'll have some time. I spent a lot of time this past weekend doing production for no reason, but if there's stuff I'm missing or stuff that you're requesting as members, if your name's in green tonight, I'm pretty much going to be taking requests from you in terms of content that you would like me to create for you. I was waiting for the bank to send me my new card. Hours and hours and hours behind the curve. My magnet is in the mail, allegedly. Yeah, you're in Canada, dude. It's not my fault that it's taking its time to get there. I absolutely did send it to you. I remember because your address confused the ever-loving shit out of me. Do you guys know in Canada, the first part that you put in an address is your apartment number? So it's like that's the most important thing. You know, not the number of the street you live on, but the apartment number. Apparently, that's how it was given to me anyway. I don't know. I do not live in Detroit. No, no, I do not, because I would have been killed for being a Cowboys fan after the Cowboys Lions game last year, in which Detroit pissed it away by refusing to kick a field goal. Chatting is not in your job description. No, it's not, but I appreciate you showing up anyway. I'm going to gift a sub. Oh, wait, that's right. It's not cool enough to have that option. Are you, I don't know. Are you signed in? Yeah, I mean, you are, because you get your membership token there. I have no idea what to tell you, other than maybe you don't have your Google Pay set up. Because when you go into the option and you gift memberships, it's just like, oh, pay with my Google Pay. So like, just check your Google Pay. That's all I could say about that. You never knew how to emote. It is ma'am. Did I call you sir? I would never want to just call you sir. Sometimes I call people sir, like when I'm indignant. Like I'll call them sir regardless of their sex when I'm indignant. But I'm in a good mood tonight. Chase just subbed, so you were a member before you subscribed? I don't know how that works. Oh, you just subscribed to Hard Time. Oh, that makes sense. Thank you, guys. Just a reminder, there's 2 episodes every week of Hard Time. The first one drops Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then the Friday show is only for members, and that's okay, right? Like one show per week is enough. Like I feel like you really get what you pay for, because it's, first of all, it's $4.99 for Hard Time. And I don't see any of that money, by the way. So in case you think that, like, oh, John, you greedy son of a bitch, it actually goes to my podcasting partner, and he'll tell you that he's receiving all that money because he invested quite a bit of money into himself to become a podcaster. And I'm so blessed to do this show and to do Failure to Stop, to have that financially reward me. I don't need financial benefit for a hard time. And I don't have 3 children. And if I can draw attention to correctional officers, then that's the fulfillment of the mission. I was never in that for money. I actually recorded an episode of Hard Time from inside my car once. So like, it's always been a pretty much poverty-based podcast. So all the money goes to Jake on that one, just so we know. Who are we talking about? No one. I just subscribed to Hard Time, but can't find it when I look it up on YouTube. I know, because the channel is brand new, and it's small time. So small time, Hard Time. Sorry about that. No, Michael Hendricks. I've never received a complaint from a female member of the Wolf Pack or the communists or the commandos that you're creepy and bothersome. I've never received any comments. This person has bothered enough females that they actually reach out to me and tell me that he's bothersome. And and when I'm in the chats and I see him, I'm not rude to him because it's not my place to be rude, particularly since he's a fan. But I guess I'm not gonna pretend to be his best friend when I think he's only in the chats to find females and then reach out and talk to them using the podcast as a pretext for communication with strangers. That I don't like. Uh, you guys know, you've heard this said, and I believe it's generally true, that in every group, there's somebody who's there for the wrong reason, whether that's at your church, whether it's in your group of friends, but there's somebody who's there with less than above board intent. And so I guess I just encourage you guys, even as you interact with each other, I think you guys are all great. All my interactions with every single person in the chat tonight have always been fantastic. There's nobody here I've ever had a problem with. In fact, there's many people here that I've chatted with, the people that have my phone number, and I think everybody here I can vouch for. But you just never know. You just never know who's up to what. So just remember to stay safe on the internet, and just remember that you could see somebody in the chats on Com Center, and they may not have your best intention in mind. They may be out to entertain themselves, or to draw attention to themselves, or whatever. Dear everyone, if there's something you really want to say but can't, don't worry, I'll always say it. On John's MySpace friend rankings, I'm 41. And now I feel bad because her seeing that she's 41st place on my friend rankings, a particularly tough time, particularly tough day, maybe, to see that. I should have thrown an asterisk on there to say, like, this may or may not, be reflective of like your order of importance to me personally. Because there's a lot of people in that list, I don't even know who they are, like Mike Honcho or Abby times two. Like, I like Abby, but she has 2 memberships, so I don't know. Make me a cupcake emoji and I'll change my name back. You got it. Any particular color? I mean, I'm inclined to go pink. But cupcake emoji makes the list. And I'm going to do that for you because you're a member and because I haven't seen you around lately, Cupcakes. And I would like to see you around more often. Sometimes I see you around on other things and I'm like, why doesn't she love me? I don't know. So it's already on my list to do. No need to second it or anything. Still think it's Ohio's coil swinger. Just requested following or something. I don't know who that is, so don't worry about that person. I'm not saying not worry about him. I'm just saying I have no specific issues with that person, whoever that is. Some of you know well who I'm speaking of. John, maybe you and I can do the Top Gun Maverick Rush breakdown together. Possibly. Do you have a cell phone with a good internet connection? That's all you would really need. Here's the thing you need to know too, Felony. So when I was navigating this breakdown of the Unsolved Mysteries thing, in order for you to make a rationale to get around copyright, you've really, really got to make it a reaction video, which means I'm going to cut out every single part that we're not reacting to. And I've got some reactions. My only fear is that, I'm not reacting enough. Because like when I was doing training day, which is now lost to time because I sat down and watched this for 2 hours only to find that my microphone was on the wrong setting. That I honestly just sat there transfixed by the tour de force performance of Denzel Washington. So Tom Cruise is another one that I really like. So I'm worried that I will sit down and watch it, and then I'll just be really enjoying the movie and forget that I'm supposed to be doing commentary. So maybe if I do it with somebody, that would fix that. It would involve you, and then I've always wanted to do the commentary with Dewey or Drew or something because they're members of the Comm Center. But it's not out of the realm of possibility. We would have to find a way to figure that out. You can text me on that. We can find a way. I don't just know if it would ruin it for you, though, being a part of it. Detzlav, $5. Damn it, I missed the main show again. I hate being sick. Well, I'm sorry you're sick, buddy. I have a question for you, Detzlav. Are you that guy that calls at the end of the show and says quack, quack, quack? Are you that guy? I want to know if that's you. Because he's called in a few times, and I've noticed some similarities between the two of you. And, I'm not exactly Inspector Dave Tosky, but I think it could be you. We're going to pick the screen name and keep it so it's not so hard to know where the OGs are as people add on. Well, that's what your badges are for, too. So, I set this up, your membership badges. Everybody's got a basic, yellow coin badge is what Abby called it. Once you've been here a month, those will change color. And once you've been here 2 months, those will change color. And then I think they change at 3 months, and then at 6 months, and then a year, and so on. So you guys can change your names, and that's fine. But we'll know like your status as a member based off of that. And like even though Cupcakes and Cameos changed her name, she just says like, hey, this is that person, and it's very obvious. I feel so old. I don't even have Facebook. Yeah, did you ever never have it? Or are you like me where you have it now and you can't get rid of it? Literally, I have that problem right now. So this is the problem with my Facebook. I have deleted it many times over the past several months. Deactivated it, I guess is what I should say. And then when I'm deactivated, they're like, are you sure you want to leave? Because you're an admin on the Com Center Facebook group and no one else is in charge of this. I'm like, damn it, Drew, why aren't you in charge of this too? And they're like, if you leave Facebook, this group gets deactivated. I'm like, ah. So then like I invite him to be an admin and he just ignored the request. I'm like, and then, so when I log into Spotify to produce Hard Time to make that show go out to you guys, I do that on Anchor, Spotify for podcasters. I log into that using Spotify, my Spotify account that I use to listen to music all the time. And as it turns out, I log into Spotify using my Facebook account. So if I deactivate my Facebook account, I can't log into my Spotify, and I can't log into my Spotify. I can't log into Spotify for podcasters, and I literally can't access Hard Time. So if I try to deactivate my Facebook, I can't make podcasts anymore. So I'm like, yeah, I can reconfigure all the cables. I can go in and change my passwords and change how I log into all these different things because apparently they're all interconnected, like broken Christmas tree lights, where they're all plugged into each other or whatever. And I could find a way to like get rid of the dead ones so it all works more efficiently. But holy crow, like I deactivated Facebook and everything went dark. Like I couldn't do shit anymore. So, and then sometimes because it's linked to my Instagram account, so I'll deactivate Facebook and then like on my phone, I'll be logged out of Instagram. I'm like, well, I still use Instagram daily to communicate with you guys and to surf for memes and look at cool stuff and make things that interest me and whatever else, post things. And so I'll log into Instagram, and because Meta sees those two things as the same, it reactivates my Facebook. So they really don't let you get away. And so it might come down to me eventually having to just delete my Facebook, which is no shame, I guess. In the US, they really only care about the zone improvement plan code. That's true. The zip is the main thing. Whenever I send a piece of mail, those of you who have received mail from me, Chase, I think you may be one of them. No, I don't think you are, actually. I always make the zip real big. And I've said this before on the show. People get mad about postal stuff because they'll tell me that they're in a city that they're not in. They'll be like, oh, well, I live, Harrisonburg. And I'm like, well, you actually don't. And they're like, no, I do. It's my postal address. I'm like, well, right. Except I'm not sending a letter carrier to investigate your broken mailbox. As ironic as that would be, a police officer needs to go and you don't. You live out in the county, so you're going to get a county sheriff's deputy. And yes, the unit number first is confusing in my opinion too. It's just more of Justin Trudeau shit. It's just more of his autocratic bullshit. This is my version of gifting a sub. Thank you, Michael, for just throwing in $10 right there. You are a member though, right, Michael? I see that you are. Looks like you have a membership token there. I want to make sure that you are because I will feel sad if on Monday, when the Monday morning show drops, you can't watch it. because where we're standing right now is that the membership, the Monday morning show, will be the first to go members only. Do not watch the remake of The Guilty. Watch the original. Hey, I'll figure that out, I guess. I'm inclined to watch the original things too. Facebook is trash. You know what? Facebook really is trash. Because when I am scrolling Facebook, which usually means I'm bored to tears, it shows me groups that I'm not a part of. It just shows me groups that they think I'm interested in, but I never joined. And so because I'm a bit of a nerd, it's showing me all this content from like Star Trek groups of these people that like whole lives is establishing headcanon for like what Captain Picard did before he was captain of the Enterprise. And then they'll have these whole long posts about a fucking TV show, which I like Star Trek, don't get me wrong, but I'm just like, I don't want to be in this group. And then I'm like, try to leave, and it's like, oh, I'm not in this group. And I'm like, well, show me less like this. And it still fucking shows it to me every time. And then I'm like, well, snooze the group. And then 30 days later, it's still showing me stuff from this group. And then like I'll also scroll and it's mostly advertisements. Like, what happened to Facebook? I honestly think so many people bailed on Facebook that it's really just like it's the social media equivalent of like of second class mail, of like, coupons coming in the mail anymore. Like your friends aren't sending you letters anymore, but you're still getting mail and it's just advertisements. Facebook's unbearable anymore. And the people that are still using Facebook are like the people that are kind of cringy, that have terrible memes that have like all this huge text and it's all in different fonts and it's all about, how proud they are to be an American or whatever, which I'm proud too, but I don't like crappy memes. Anyway, Facebook is sort of gone downhill. I still have it though. Just to annoy myself with, no other reason. Where is David J? I don't know. I'm probably going to call him, to be honest with you. David J lately has been in the chats, but he's been watching, but hasn't been in the chats, and I'm not sure why that is. But he'll like occasionally text me to say, "Oh, I'm here," but I'm not doing anything in the chats tonight. But chats help drive the algorithms. So the more chats we have, the better, which is kind of the reason why this show, the after show, is financially viable. Is because you help drive our algorithm by having lots of chats. But he's AWOL officially, so I'll try calling him later. And if he doesn't answer, we'll call the base, do a welfare check. Point is, I watch YouTube. That is as far as my social media goes. The problem is with doing a welfare check is that his name is David Jones, and like I highly doubt I'm going to be able to have the United States Navy locate a gunner's mate, petty officer, first class David Jones, and actually have that mean anything to them. There's probably 100 of those in San Diego alone. I watch YouTube. That is as far as my social media goes. Yeah, I don't even consider YouTube social media, and yet it really is. Doing Navy stuff, probably. Swimming, communicating, using flags. Flag semaphore. Fuck yeah. At big bright lights. Messaging dudes. Oh, massaging dudes. I actually liked mine better. He's messaging dudes. Like that's what the Navy does, is messaging people. But you said massaging, which is weirder. If any of you guys know David J, or if you're friends with him outside of here, you can go get him. Okay, so it's not me. I'm naturally creepy, but I share it with everyone equally. Not convinced. You're still on my list of suspects on my board of like, who is this guy? Like, I still have a picture of Bones McCoy, which represents you, because you are not ruled out. Michael Hendricks said oh, there he is. Oh, because David jumped in. Okay, we were not bad mouthing you, although I did say that that there were hundreds like him. You all my best internet friends. I don't mind, Michael. Okay. Yeah, no, this is a happy place. Same here. You're all the only folks I talk to online. Probably for the best. So these two are in love, I think. Wasn't it Lasmo Harris who said David was a good-looking man? Possibly. I'll let those two figure out their paths towards each other. David's a member, and when he commissioned his emoji, he asked for the gunner's mate symbols. So that's what he asked for. Because David is a gunner's mate and a petty officer first class, if I am not mistaken. Or a GM1, I think is what they would call that. I asked for my cannons. Okay. Ben Allen, miss y'all after showers. Ben, you got to become a member, dude. It's good to see you. But just remember, some of these things are about to get locked down. Definitely pink. Thank you. All right. Computer, I'm in a Kali Linux gal, but Arch is okay. Yeah. You know, Las Mujeres, I wanted to go on record to say something important. Probably 54% of the time, I don't know what you're talking about. For some reason, you have a long email thread with me, and like, I barely am hanging on. And I'm sorry about that. It's not personal. I'm not ignoring you. It's just often I'm confused because, like, the last time I exchanged emails with someone was probably 10 years ago, and I think I forgot how to do it. I'm a few years behind. Okay, those two are just doing it. I'm 41 in your friends list, but at least 5 in your heart. Aw. Yeah, you're 41 in my friends list, at least 5 in my heart. Yeah, you're probably up there, number 5 or higher. It's possible. That's a reasonable number. That's a reasonable guess. The only fear is fear itself, and plagiarism, and carnies, and nuclear war. I was working with Red Hat when I was on the ship. I think that's like some sort of deep uniform reference. Amy's are the USDA and butter because she's our new fave. Yeah, we all do love Amy here, and she does have 2 right now. Because I figured those 2 had to be put together. Because it's such a small picture. How do you combine them? So, all right. So I wasn't going to address this, but she brought it up, which is weird because this is not at all like her. Today is April's birthday. Today she is 38 years old. I made a promise to myself not to mention it because I knew that she just wouldn't want a bunch of thank yous from a bunch of internet people, but she brings it up herself, so she must want that. So I wanted to say to April, happy birthday. I hope you have or are having or had a special day, or that you are planning to have one, not this weekend, obviously, but at some point. And thanks for all you do. You're a special person. You have a very hard job uh, working the field that you work in, and still being able to care as much as you do, and being a professional and a good friend to me. I just want to say happy birthday. No new members tonight. That's the thing I'm worried about, Chase, is that we've got our core members of Commandos, but that we're not growing. I mean, our numbers are going up, but like, how do we convince people to become Commandos? I guess that's our major campaign, is to figure that out. Not just for financial gain, because even if we never have any more than 41 Commandos, official Commandos, and like that number probably will go down as people, abandon their gifts. Even if we never have more than that, getting members does drive the show. Like, the more members you get, like the higher number of memberships you have as a percentage of your audience, the more YouTube pushes you out there. So we can get more people to watch the show, the more members we have. So for that reason, growing the show, not being stagnant, not wasting our time or lives. Finally, he figured out who it was. Yeah. I wonder if that's actually a full-blown admission of you being that weird guy that says quack, quack, quack to me. Because I believe that you are that person. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I swear to God, I thought I was going to have to drop a whole fucking loaf of bread for them to find it. Okay. I also don't actually have a cork board with pictures and yarn. Didn't really, spend time trying to figure out all those things. Me spending exactly 3 minutes thinking about it during the last year, I was able to figure it out. All right, I miss MySpace. It was the best. You know what? I've got really positive memories of MySpace, and I don't know if it's just because I'm looking at it through the nostalgia of the past, but like the early 2000s were a fun time. Too hot, my brother. I left Virginia for a reason. I have my Face account mostly for news and following history stuff I like. I don't know what mine's for anymore. I had Facebook, but I haven't been on it 10 plus years. Social media is the devil's work. Yeah, I don't like it either. There's groups and pages, and there's all kinds of stuff that I don't want to be a part of. And there's groups and pages that I don't necessarily want to be the only admin of. I am aware of the difference. I have run multiple groups and multiple pages, and this is the fact that there's a disparity between groups and pages is also something else that I hate about Facebook. The purpose and functionality of groups and pages should be the same. I don't like that they're different. Carly is here. Hello, Carly. Good to see you. Good to see you. Ben, good luck tonight. I used MSN Messenger. That was the last one I had and used a lot. Yeah, I remember using MSN Messenger or AOL Messenger too to talk to people. Do you guys remember how cool instant messaging used to be? You would see one of your friends is online. Hey, buddy, how are you? And this was all like, right before texting became a thing. By the way, John, I was never drunk. Only on my own channel am I ever drunk. You misspelled my name. But did I ever accuse you of being drunk? I may have said intoxicated, but you really struck me more as like somebody who was on drugs. All right. What are the numbers across the bottom and why am I 39? That's the order in which I love you guys. Is my face an actual thing? Are you guys just saying my face? Or are you saying Facebook and you're making it doing some kind of joke? I don't know. Anyone here use team chats? I don't. Adios, familia. Familia. Beignet, that is the order in which we all became members of Comp Center. Thank you for letting her know. It's John's purge list. Guys, if it was my purge list, it would stop right at the beginning, right with number 1. And you guys will all be fine. I mean, literally, it would be. Teams is for your employer to spy on you. That's a good point. I can't imagine what else it's for. And April used to be a very powerful member of her own organization. And so she would know she was using that to figure out what Vicky was up to. Just kidding. Just in case. Just kidding. We use it for work in a program called Builder Trend. That sounds awful. I just got into contracting on my old house. Someone from Western Montana moving to Southeast Ohio. I wanted to reach out and shake them. Montana to Ohio? I'm hearing nothing but bad things about Ohio lately, so I wonder what that's about. Everyone's saying hello. Captain Picard is an absolute G. He's no Captain Sisko. Captain Sisko's the best. He's my favorite captain, in my opinion. Once again, I have failed to plug in my laptop. I think what I do is I plug it into the internet, and so I've got it hooked up to the Ethernet cable, and I'm like, oh, that takes care of that. Good job, John. And then all of a sudden I'm looking at my battery indicator saying, oh yeah, you're about to go offline. But anyway, Captain Sisko, best Star Trek captain, hands down. And if you don't know whether or not you can or even argue with me, that's how you know that you don't know that he's the best. All right, I have saved the show. How much percentage were we at before I noticed? 35%, which is pretty low. It's one of those things. This computer is 4 years old. At this point, you get down to 25%, and the thing just turns off. All right. Everyone leave Facebook behind. Smut ads. Isn't that powered by algorithm, though? Deadbolt Dame? It's for boomers and doomers. Yeah, Los Mojeras, you've made it very clear that you don't like old people. And I guess I'm not a boomer exactly, but I am pretty fucking old. David, I get the feeling of being watched while I'm on Teams. You probably are. April says, my employer disciplines someone over a private Teams chat between two employees. Teams is forever and they can see it. Guys, don't be on there. You guys should pretty much be aware that whenever you're at work, like, you are under surveillance. Definitely. You have to stay on because of your page. The Bones McCoy with a gun in the glasses page. April, that is bullshit. I never wanted to work somewhere that I needed to worry about what I say. Oh man, well, I can't think of a place to work where you wouldn't have to worry anymore. I like my chats the same way I like my women driving the algorithm. Search and rescue experience all the way to my inside of my skull. Is that what your page is about? Search and rescue experience? That would be cool. I know. This has always been the case. We literally have someone from the Navy named Davy Jones. Right now, you're like the only guy on the suspect list. All right. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry, I didn't want you to hear that. I'm a little congested tonight. And Clark Culper was someone who he basically works at the North Pole. I think he's a peppermint miner or something. And he sent me a video of him driving around a vehicle up at the North Pole and listening to the comm center. And when it was one of my Monday morning shows and it's near the end, and all of a sudden I'm just like hacking and coughing. And I'm like, oh, apologizing for using technology to broadcast my hacking and coughing to the far corners of the world. But I had no idea it would go all the way up to the North Pole where he works. So I'm trying to get better about using the mute button. Could be worse. Could be a Canadian Coast Guard. At least you're hearing that from a Canadian. Yes, GM1. I do occasionally know things about the Navy, which seems strange, doesn't it? I found a meme. No, I'll wait till Monday to share that meme. It's a good meme, but it's sort of related to this. My cousin was an Annapolis guy, meaning he was an officer, and spent his enlistment on a sub. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he wasn't an officer, since his clearly just says he's an enlistment. So sorry. Always seemed an interesting gig. Yeah, you have to volunteer for that. They're not going to put you in a pressurized tube at the bottom of the sea for 6 months unless you are willing to do that. Yeah, I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't even make it a day. I would go insane right away. I don't like cave diving. There's caves in the state where I live, and there's even one that's really big enough that like tour groups walk through. Like you're not trying to squeeze through anything. Like, and I'm a big dude. And out in front of this cave, they actually have like a little hole. Like, if you can fit through this hole, you can go on this guided cave journey. And like the hole's like as big as my head. I'm like, well, you got cats and little kids going on this? Like, who can go through on this tour cave thing? So even when I went on the big one where you just walk around, like, I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like being underground. It's not cool. So I would not enjoy the darkness and silence of being in a submarine. John says he doesn't email, but he does. Don't believe him. Yeah, and look at the quality of emails you're getting from me. The emails that you get from me, Las Mujeres, it's just like, haha, I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on. Happy birthday again, April. Appreciate you. He emails me all the time. You should be very jelly. Yeah, again, my emails are not like long or comprehensive or helpful. Like case in point, you asked my thoughts on a business plan or something, and I'm just like, business plan? I asked you like 5 days late. You're like, never mind, I already got what I need. Salamander coming in hot, gifting 5 memberships. So I will look to see who those are. I can look right now if you want to see who those are, and I can update that. I will do that before the show's over. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Jonathan. You're welcome. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for all you do. And thank you for so much more. Michael's crying in the corner. What did I miss? What is Michael crying about? Oh, yeah, he's crying in the corner of the ship, of the boat. They actually call submarines boats. They don't call them ships. I don't know why. All right. David, you get emails from me too. And you get texts. I literally texted you when your emoji was done, when I commissioned your emoji. A little concerned that Ed Gein is watching. Hey, a member's a member, right? Yeah. A little worried about that. Like we already had Salamander. We already had the one guy who's out there, preying on women in the audience. And now there's someone that wants to kill me. So I can confirm that I am in fact a long time caller, first time listener. Quack quack is a reference to the fact that I am a coastie. All right, Drew, I solved it. Drew's not here anymore. Detzlav, you are unhinged. I think that's what you're going for, though. Blasted. Sorry, guys, I'm late. I'm getting swamped at work due to being thrown into the role of inspector with 15 minutes of training with a guy from 10 minutes ago. You got to go crush that shit, man. You get after it. It's fine. Lasmo Harris, no sweater skin or nipple buttons on a mommy skin vest, please. Yes, when I did that episode, I had no idea how bad it would be. And that was actually, I don't know if you guys are aware of this. For those of you who keep special close track, but me and Kendra were doing the Ed Gein episode, and Deadleg was producing it, and he kept throwing up pictures of the nipple belt. You guys are aware that was the last time we did a show together, right? It's just coincidence, but I mean, that is the last show that we did together, I think. I'm trying to remember if we've done any other, like, where we were both there at the same time, like me in the background, and I don't think so. I mean, I was helping to produce last Friday's show, but I wasn't in the studio, so. All right. That's an Ed Gein reference. Yes, Ed Gein. Creepy man. Inspired so many movies. I would always get girls from Michigan on MSN. I never could understand why, but I learned about the glove. All right. I don't know how much to lock into that. You said proof positive the wolf pack is drunk after my first call. I thought it was funny as fuck. Also, my spelling sucks. Well, the first time this time last year, and actually when I was brand new, I mean, I definitely had my rookie phase as a podcaster. I mean, there was a time where I would have never done what I'm doing right now, just be alone on the air. I remember the first time it happened, Drew's computer like blew up, and I'm like, all of a sudden, like, so also in the news, Ben Darby, still innocent, still in prison. And I'm like sweating. And now it's fine. Now I don't care. And when I was a rookie, I had a harder time dealing with the fact that now I have up to a dozen people, strangers, all talking to me. You guys know I live on the fucking moon. You guys know that I have no friends because I'm a fucking loser, and that I'm introverted, and that I don't care about meeting people or making friends because I'm a loser. And then all of a sudden I have all these people telling me they care about me and that they enjoyed the show, and then all this, and they're just like, all right, well, now there's extra people in my life. So I wasn't so good at it at first. Salamander says, I'll be out of a job in a month. Hopefully I get a new one. Otherwise, sacrifice lunch for a new member to love. Somebody reach out to Salamander and buy her some lunch. Salamander, I think I've got your address. I'm going to see what I can do to give back something to you. I'm going to put kindness for Salamander. Because Salamander, you have been one of my harshest critics, but earliest supporters, ironically, at the same time, since the very beginning. And, there's been a lot of people who have supported my work as a podcaster who are no longer around. People that just grew tired of me, people who don't care anymore, they're gone. You're still here. I should change it back. You changed it before I could even do your emoji. Thank you. That is coming to you. I will get that done. It doesn't take anything to make an emoji. 2140 timestamp. Is that how far I am behind? I'm 11 minutes behind. Marine's Blood says, we get trained next week, yet they declined to roll out the changes this week. I still do all my normal stuff and now some of my supervisor stuff as well. So yeah, I need a pay raise. We're all kind of getting in that position, right? Where, we're getting promoted, but they're not backfilling the person who did the job, they're not finding someone to replace you. So you're still doing all the work that you did. You're getting paid slightly more, but you're not getting paid as much as two people would be. So it's interesting. Yeah, he's the same one that's bros, I guess, with Gandalf, if you wanted to look at it that way. If you don't know who Captain Picard is at this point, I don't know what to tell you. I just want to state for the record that the Vicky I was referencing was a work associate of April. Just so that we say that. Yes, I know this. I know. The cameos part is getting in the spot ads. I'm not sure what scared you, Amy, but I'm sorry. I love the old "How dare you, John?" So judgmental. Oh, you love the olds? The fact that you refer to us as the olds. The olds who all need to go live on the island. All right. Half track ton North Pole would be a lot of fun. Yeah, I bet he works in like as a oilman, drillerman, oilman. He's the one that's making life happen down here. Well, I'll just say that. Now that's been a bit. Hi, Faulkner. Hi, Michael. Hi, Marine's Blood. Thank you for being a member. I know that you were reluctant, and that is why you were ranked so high. John is such a buster on himself. Well, Camos, Camaros, canoes, at least no more than... Okay, I'm not finishing that one. I remember the nipple belt. Yeah, that was rough. That was a rough episode. Do you guys miss... anybody miss true crime? Put a one in the chats if you guys miss true crime. We've been off the air for about a month now. It's been, I think, close to a month that we've been off the air. True crime is a good show. And I want to announce that I've received a list of cases from Kendra Drama. So look forward to that. Exciting news. I've got a list of cases I need to become familiar with. A list of true crime cases. Have you seen the young girls walking around in the yoga pants? I think that's what they're going for, cupcakes. Again, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what you guys are talking about here. All I can do is assure you I have not seen anyone walking around because I live in the middle of nowhere. John, it's Jon. I just wanted to put that out there because when I've talked to you, I've actually worked really hard to spell Detzlov, which is not easy. But my name is short for Jonathan. It's actually not John. John, John, is a separate name. But to answer your thing about spelling, your spelling sucks. I work with a coworker who is smart. He's a smart guy. He's smarter than me in many ways. Handy, really good 911 dispatcher. But he's so bad at spelling that everyone that I don't want to say everyone. I only walk some of that back. He's so bad at spelling that some people have the misappropriation that he's not an intelligent guy because of how badly he spells. So it's the way he represents himself in written text, but he doesn't give a fuck about it. And but that was just something that was interesting, that he's not really a good speller. And I have to sometimes decode what he writes. All right. He's Las Mujeres has got to go do some ethical hacking. You could talk to Orsetto now. I don't know what that means. You're so Gen Z or whatever that I can't even understand you. You make me feel like my parents when back in the 90s when I would say something is stupid, and they'd be like, "You don't talk that way." And I'm like, "No, stupid means cool." The generations have turned over, and I now no longer understand the very young. What on earth? I got an ad just when you said Drew's computer blew up. Was it an ad for computers? What kills me is when young girls walk in and their mom is okay with everyone saying their kids' bits. What are we talking about here? Uh, I don't know what we're talking about, but I'm not seeing any kids' bits. So whatever it is you're talking about, I don't know. John, Comp Center greater than everything. Yeah, we'll see. Let's figure out we can do something. I'd make you acknowledge your talents. Like what? Sitting here, and talking, clicking. I'm sitting here and I'm clicking. I know that you think I'm talented, and I really the classy thing to do is to just say thank you. I remember here's a story for me as a child. I went to vacation Bible school, and it was at a church that we didn't go to. I think it's because we had already been excommunicated from our own church. Some church, we would just randomly go to churches because people would figure out that we weren't nice people and people would not want to be our friends. So we have always the best we could ever achieve for ourselves in the church community was a stranger status. But I went to a vacation Bible school over one summer, and my dad, for some reason, picked me up from class, and the teacher was talking nicely about me in front of me to my dad, saying how I'm a bright student and all this or whatever, or that I'm creative or something. Usually when teachers didn't know what to say about me, they said I was creative, which is code for weirdo. But she's saying nice things about me, and I'm just like demurring over and over and over again. And I'm like, oh, no, that's not true, and all this. And then we get in the car, and my dad's like annoyed with me, and he goes like, "Do you know how to take a compliment?" And I'm just like, "What?" And he goes, "Just say thank you." And I'm just like, "Well, maybe if I ever heard a compliment from you, Dad, maybe I would know how to take one. But I literally have never heard any nice things from my father my entire life." So to this day, I'm still not good at it. So I'm consciously aware that when I'm not good at it, I just need to say thank you and move on. Nice to know that I'm 40 and still dealing with the same things I was dealing with when I was 12. I'm growing up, guys. My boss is on vacation, so I'm doing his stuff as well. Maybe since you have more training, I'll have more pull. Yeah, I wish that was the true. Put a 1 in the chats if you guys miss true crime. Is that the letter I? Is it the Roman numeral? Lots of you guys missed true crime, huh? You know what's funny is that no show replaced it. So when Com Center left the network, we had to come up with a show to replace it. And that's why the sports show exists. I love doing the sports show. It's fun and laid back. It doesn't take much effort and energy. I like podcasting with Kiefer. He's a good man. But the show's not successful by any measure. Like there's people are not downloading it. People are not watching it live. Nobody likes it. And I think it's because people are like, oh, I don't do sports. They don't care that like what we do is that we just joke. Like we're not sitting there doing deep analysis on like the Cowboys secondary or whatever. We're joking about shit. We're just talking, and we're not talking about politics and the news. We're talking about sports. So like it's more lighthearted than Last Call, because Last Call, or Uncuffed, even they talk about the news, and it's just like you're hearing all this bad like doomsday shit that's just annoying. And like I understand sports are like a distraction, and in some sense that's bad because it distracts you from your responsibilities of real life and being a good citizen. But holy fuck, people, will you look at the last 4 to 5 years? This world is depressing, and it's not getting better. And I don't mind having a diversion. Yes, I know that the NFL is like a big criminal gang and it's corrupt, and it's, I know that sports is, the opiate of the masses. It's what it uses to numb you, to keep you from being politically activated. But you know what? Can I just enjoy a football game? And that's the basis of that show. For those people that are sick of the doomsday shit, constantly worrying about the state of things, World War III, President Trump, President Biden, President Putin, whatever else, like this. Just we talk about other things, and I try to come at it from a true crime bent as it whenever I can. If you guys listen to the episode that we did 2 weeks ago, it was actually, I think, our best episode, because we were talking about this guy, this player who was a former, I think he was a defensive lineman for the Indianapolis Colts. His son went missing, turned up, and his grandmother found him. He had been battered, and then like the whole family like disappeared onto a cult compound, like a religious charismatic personality cult. And I'm like, this is an interesting true crime case of a missing boy and a former NFL player. And it got some coverage in the news, but it was by no means a big deal. And I'm like, well, we do sports on this sports show, but like, let's cover sports and crime. Like we did a whole breakdown on O.J. Simpson. We did a whole breakdown on Ray Lewis. And I'm not here to sell that show. I'm just saying that show's not popular, and but I enjoyed doing it. True crime, on the other hand, was more popular, but it was just difficult for Kendra to do. And everybody left on good terms. Everybody feels good about each other, and Kendra and I are going to be finding a new platform to launch on. I don't know if that'll be YouTube. It won't be part of Com Center, I'm sorry to say, just because I would have to pay her out of the money that I get for doing the show. And as of right now, we're still like trying to pay off our bills. So I don't have an income yet from Com Center. So I don't have money to pay Kendra to do this show. So she and I will probably do it on an audio only format, possibly on Spotify, possibly, the same way I do Hard Time, but without membership, because I think she just wants to do it for fun. So, and she doesn't need the money, I don't think. So, more information will roll out about that as it becomes more realistic. I think that's just something we kind of want to do. She sent me some cases though, so be on the lookout for that. I will definitely tell you if the new true crime becomes a reality. You guys will know first. Particularly members will know first. David, every night except Thursdays are lonely. Tyler, I wonder, did you come through the failure to stop Wolfpack Brotherhood to get here, or did you find Tyler? Did you become a fan of Com Center completely independent of failure to stop? I wonder. My spelling issues are a part of me. Not sleep deprivation, part autocorrect. Yeah, guys, it's okay if you make spelling mistakes. It's okay. It's all right. My Canadian ads are for safe drug use sites, and that's great. Yeah, make sure you're using drugs safely. You're going to use them, so you might as well do it safe. I'm sorry for not paying close enough attention to know what you mean by this cupcakes and cameos. I apologize. Do people think you're a weirdo? Salamander, you're not normal, but you're also great. I don't want people in my life who are strictly just like by the book, normal, undifferentiated from anyone else. I find those people very boring. You're not a boring person. So if I call you a weirdo, it's a term of endearment, just so you know. Am I catching up with the chats finally? Sorry if I mortified you. I don't remember what I put up there. What I find is people who find it hard to accept compliments, myself included, are often people who give the most to others. That's true. I'm not as gracious as I should be. I will say that I need to be nicer to other people. Don't lie. You like the recognition, maybe not, but why? You like recognition, maybe not, but why? I would say I don't like the recognition because I do the show for the purpose of the show, Com Center, to talk about something important, meaning everything we talk about on Com Center, whatever that is. And I never expected that I would become popular with anyone or recognized for anything that I do, like as a person. I viewed Com Center as a show about something, not about two people that host the show. And yet people have come out and have been very kind to me personally, saying, John, I appreciate what you do, and that you're talented or whatever else. And so the compliments being personal, I was never really ready for, because I wasn't putting myself out there personally. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. Yeah, I hope you. Do you think that we go too deep into the sports? Because it's we just have a good time. I think Salamander's implying we need to have a United States emoji of some kind. That's probably a good idea since we're heading into the Olympics. Which I went on record earlier today to say that I would prefer we go back to war rather than have the Olympics to decide which country is best. One more just to be extra. What is that emoji on there? Is that a wink and a kiss? Who is that directed at? Very confusing. How do you auto download Marines? Okay, so you guys are talking to yourselves. It's nice not to think about the insane everyday world. Yeah, that was my pitch for the show. Because when I eventually said to him, like, why don't we do a sports show? And he's like, no, why? And I'm like, well, number one, if you want me to do a show, it has to be about something I'm interested in, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to do it without like putting a huge amount of effort into it that I'm not able to currently muster. And I care about football, and I think about football, and I have thoughts and opinions on football and in sports in general. And Keith can do that too. And I told him, like, I don't know if you know this, but just because you're not into sports doesn't mean that other people aren't. And so it's all Brazilian jiu-jitsu and rugby and nothing else, or X Games stuff. And I have never covered any of those things. Spotify, if you're asking where a reimagined true crime show would be, yes, it would be probably be an audio only show. Kendra never liked appearing live on YouTube, which is why we were never live. For the Michael Hendrickses out there who wanted to know why we were never live, it was twofold. Number one, I work on Tuesday nights, and when I suggested moving the show to Andrea, she was never down for that. And when I suggested moving the show to Eric so that I could do the show live, he wasn't down for that either. So, and then she also didn't want to appear live on there. She was less nervous if we didn't have a live audience. So, if she and I go forward with this, as we're kind of like tentatively planning to do, again, it's nothing. I'm not committing her. I'm not committing to making this happen on her behalf. She sent me some cases, so I think she wants to do it. But she can back out at any time, and she's not responsible. She doesn't need hate mail or anything. I'm just kind of like trying to convince her to kind of come back to doing it because we miss doing it. I think it'll just be an audio only presentation like Hard Time. So, but otherwise we'll just do it the way we always did it. If you guys missed that show, I like baseball about enough, but I don't know other sports to be as into it. Much of the time, it's like you're speaking Greek. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about whenever I'm reading a baseball article. Did you guys notice that like we read a lot of articles on there? The reason for that is because I don't know what the fuck's going on. I can't name all Major League Baseball teams. I can't name like more than 5 hockey teams. I start that show and I'm like, guess what, guys? I'm a 911 dispatch, and that's what qualifies me to talk about sports. Are you kidding me? Like my sole athletic experience was at a church scrimmage softball game in which I hit a foul ball. And even the pastor laughed at me. John needs money. Everyone, that's every show he needs to be asking for money. I just got done saying that the money from Hard Time goes to Jake, and that I don't receive income from this show, and that we'll do True Crime for free. No matter what I do, I just dig deeper, don't I? I should just stop doing the stop mentioning financial things. Even though Com Center LLC, Limited Liability Corporation, is a business. Don't make it the same day as Andrea. I can listen to both, but not at the same time. Okay, if it's an audio podcast only, why would it matter when you listen to it? If we're doing it audio only, like why do you care what day I put it out? It won't be live no matter what. You can listen to Andrea, and then like on your drive to work later, you can listen to some kind of revamped true crime, whatever that would be. I'm guessing we won't call it that though, because the show only made sense being called True Crime on a network that had other shows. So like we distinguished it from Uncuffed and Last Call, and by just calling it True Crime. Like, it was a show that really didn't need a name. Even though, if you ask me, the show was called Night Shift. Like, the show was called Night Shift before Andrea got there, and then somehow Andrea spun off on her own and then also called her Night Shift, which never made any sense to me. And then we didn't call our show Night Shift anymore. I didn't get that, because it was called Night Shift before she was there. Like, if you go to work at a McDonald's and then you leave to go start your own restaurant, you can't open a restaurant called McDonald's. You know what I mean? Whatever. I don't get it. Doesn't matter. Maybe we should call it Night Shift for no reason. I'll run that past her. I'll say, like, do you care if we just call it Night Shift? We'll just be like the third Night Shift. Just for no reason. Just to be as confusing as fuck. Just so that whenever anyone's talking about how much they love Night Shift, it's always very unclear whatever they mean. Because apparently you can spin off and just take the name with you. John is going to be standing by a freeway with a cardboard sign saying to pay Kendra her alimony. You guys realize that Kendra and I are getting remarried in September, right? By the way, also, I wanted on the record, Chase, that she pays me alimony. I had it becoming I became accustomed to a certain standard of living. So she's actually paying me. Thanks, John. I meant you said creative equals weirdo. Does that mean you're creative? If so, then you're a weirdo. Yeah. Yes. All positive things. Saw the Tuesday show, then just so happened to find Com Center. Oh, okay. So you kind of came from Tuesday. You saw me on the Tuesday show? Because it's funny, as I was doing Com Center for like 10 months before the Tuesday show. So it's weird how things turn out, isn't it? I may or may not have liked a photo of your Instagram recently, but sources can't confirm. Oh, that's of David, not of me. So, whatever. All the different shows memberships are on different platforms, so I'm not one app focused anymore. All the different shows memberships are on different platforms. That is annoying, isn't it? What if I did this? What if I found a way to embed the new true crime show just in Hard Time? So it's like part of the same RSS feed, so that if you already like Hard Time, you just get true crime. Because then it's like you just get it. It's just brought right to your door. Would you guys like that? Silliman, I could probably manage that. I could add the RSS feed for true crime into a Hard Time, and then you would just see it. It's like the same way now where you're listening to Hard Time, you would just see episodes of true crime mixed in. And that way you don't have to worry about getting another app or something, you know. I want to make it as simple as possible for you. And unless a new revitalized true crime somehow becomes a very big deal, my inclination would be to try to get ad revenue. It would not be try to get memberships for that. Because you guys know, when I would do true crime, I was pretty good at reading the ads, you know, talking about how like ghosts beds are made out of 100% sustainable ghost-based technology, and how factor meals are delivered to your house, reverse trick-or-treat style, and all this. I liked reading the ads. So I would try to go ad revenue on true crime is kind of the route I would take for that. Just so that you guys didn't feel like, just so that Tyler doesn't have to get on me about, one more way in which I'm trying to finance my existence. I could do a lot more podcasting if I wasn't a 911 dispatcher anymore. If I could work here in this office and not go crazy at my job. Liked Tuesday show and Cuffed and Last Call, but slowly just started watching Just Tuesday. Oh, thank you. That always feels good because the numbers did not indicate that is what was happening by and large. Michael Hendricks says, "Hey, I've got to roll and put the monsters to bed. Great chatting with you all later, John. Good night, Michael. Good night, sweet prince. May flights of angels sing me to thy sleep." Thank you for all you do. You and Kendra had good chemistry as hosts. Yeah, it was sort of undeniably good, wasn't it? I listened to a lot of true crime podcasts to prepare for that show. Like a lot of times we would play clips from other worse true crime shows that were infinitely more popular and more financially solvent. And I would play clips from how bad they were. And it's just like, really? We don't get monetized, but these guys do? Like, we're so much better. That and being really pro-conservative, or pro-limited government, I guess I should say. Generally kind of pro-police, although we did criticize police sometimes. Like in the Menendez Brothers podcast episode, we criticized police on that one. But just not being snarky twits and committing to bits. And yeah, I really liked podcasting with Kendra. If I had the ability to bring her here somehow, I would, but I don't. Falk around and find out. Good to see you here. Have you been here long? And I just haven't noticed you here this entire time, Foxy. The wink kiss was for Tyler. Very good. He hit you with 5 maple leaves. Okay. Oh, so there already is a United States one. There already. So what? Sorry, what I saw it just said U.S. So I don't have to worry about that. Good. Taking that off the list. I'm going to mark it down as something I accomplished. I like that the show wasn't live. It made it so you could interact in the comments. Yeah, that was something that was interesting about it. It's like I'm taking all this shit. Like, is this show live? It's not even live. And I'm like, well, I could sit here and answer every little thing you say. And it wasn't enough for people. We're down to 7 people watching the show, which means I'm probably going to wind down here soon. So unless more people join up soon. There's love in the chats tonight. Where's Will? Will's not a member. It's not a membership only thing, but if you all decide to do a True Crime Tuesday on Spotify, make an Instagram page for it and post pictures from the cases. That would be True Crime _drama. I don't think we would start a new Instagram. She already exists as a personality on Instagram. She hasn't been updating it because after she decided to leave the show, there was no purpose to doing that. But we would probably just use the Instagram she already has. So if you already follow True Crime Drama at Instagram or on Instagram, you already follow the show, I'm guessing. My Tuesday request was David's request for Tuesdays. Should I put it? Does it matter what day it comes out? I'm going to put it out on Friday nights just out of spite. Maybe I'll put it out on Friday nights, and if we get good ratings, I'll move it to Tuesday, like it's a TV show. 26. Well, thanks, John. Thank yourself, because that's the order in which you became a member. I didn't decide these rankings, actually. Call it Midnights. I think so. Here's the thing. We already have a name for the show. I'm just not saying what it is. We're not going to BX much any longer. I'm going to go down there the first week of September, and we are we're showing the judge that the podcast has ended, and he's going to nullify our divorce, and we're going to go to second honeymoon. So, yep. I'll go see her in September, and we'll figure out how to do life from here. And we'll just do the podcast as like a wonderful, loving, married couple. Wait, as in legitimately married or starting to stick for the podcast again? Yes. Oh, you came over from Fleckus Talks. That was a bold move we made to try to do some collaboration, and that was really cool that he mentioned us. And then he came. Fleckus appeared on our show, and it was a really good episode, I thought. And I thought I was funny. And yet Fleckus has never reached out to me. Hey, man, you know that Drew guy? Like, you don't need him. You're big time. You come on my show now. If it's midnight, we might get the Swifties, too. The Taylor Swifties? At midnight? So, like, in 2 hours from now? 2 or 3 hours from now? Wait, I'm rereading the fuck I hate this world. I'll know what I mean. Yeah, I don't know what you mean, but it's fine. John getting married. Most of the females left the chat. Yeah. What? Oh, you were saying that they wanted to marry me. I thought you were saying that there aren't any females here. Yeah, Kendra. Yep. Never mind that she's 10 years younger than me. Why on earth are you getting ads? Because it's monetized. This is a monetized podcast. I got a casino ad. Yes, those ads pay us. You guys ever watched a TV show before? You're just like, what is this tomfoolery? Why is McDonald's trying to sell me a burger? I love your ad reads. The only ones I don't fast forward. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate that. I try to do really hard on my ad reads. They always tried to make them funny on Failure to Stop, and then by the time they got into my hands, I'm like, I'm gonna take this to a weird place. Like I was at one point, I was mentioning how like the last sports show 2 weeks ago, our best episode ever. I was doing the whole thing like ghost beds have it. You can try them out for not 99 days, not 100 days, but 101 days. If you don't like it, you could send it back. And I said, and that's great for people like me who don't plan to live longer than 90 days. You can have a ghost bed for the rest of your life. And then because it's easy to return, the executive of your estate can manage that without any problems. And then I was talking about how like you don't have to sleep under a bridge with Hobo Mike and a pack of wild dogs to stay warm anymore. And I'm just like, I'm pretty sure that Ghost Bed probably never advertised their beds in exactly this way. Osmo Harris, because John isn't popular at the strip clubs, he gets the pole too sweaty. If you know me at all, you just know that. Yeah. All right. Members are members. I guess the Swifties would bring the Kelsey football boyfriends for illegal shift. Again, how am I attracting Swifties? I missed it. I know the part of the thing about this show that sucks is that I don't ever understand what the hell anyone's talking about, because I'm having personal conversations with like at least 10 people right now, and it's all on a delay. So like I'll answer you, and then 10 minutes later you'll have a reply. Yes, the show's monetized now, so it gives us money, which is good, right? You want us to like not be slaves, right? That was something else I said about Ghost Bed is that do you oppose slavery? Well, then you should buy a Ghost Bed, because Ghost Bed is what gives us money and preserves us from the evils of slavery. You all should do entire podcasts just reacting to bad takes on cases. I can imagine. I could see us doing that, particularly if there's one in the news, something that happens. I could see us doing that. The problem is that if I'm going to be putting in a lot of media, that takes time. Like not every episode of True Crime had other podcasts stupid takes in it, because I didn't find any stupid takes while I was researching the case. If I found some, I usually would record them and play them. And if you didn't notice, like at one point that was a visual thing I put on the screen where it had letters, but then eventually I was just playing audio from it, because it was a lot of work to do. Oh, it's broken. Oh no, now we're caught up again. Okay. Every time you say that we're here till 2 a.m. I know, you're right. I thought members wouldn't get ads. No, you still will, unless I make it members only, which is what I'm going to be doing with the Monday morning show. So on Monday, when we have a members only show, there'll be no ads, because that will not be monetized, Marine's Blood. So if you feel like I'm double dipping at you right now and you're mad about that, I understand why you're angry. It's the show's monetized because we have people like Lusmo Harris who are here who are not paying members. So on Monday, if you want to be here for the Monday morning show, it will be members only and it will not be monetized. So you will not have ads on Monday morning, okay? And just your use of a period there makes me feel like you're mad at me. Are we breaking up? If it's only 8, I need this to go till 10. You need this to go to, it's only 8 where you are, so it's only 8:25 where you are, so you need this to go for 2 more hours. Holy crow. Not Instagram. Stop discriminating against those without Instagram accounts. How can I make it so you don't feel discriminated against? I feel like I'd beat that horse to death. 2 teenage daughters and a new baby boy. All mama did the right things. Been 20 years. Oh, you gotta love that. Put it on a weekend so I can fill in the gaps and have a show every day. Have you noticed that I've been putting on a show on Saturday morning? It's not a show that I do, but I've been putting out the classic episodes of Failure to Stop. I've been reissuing those, like the ones that are like from so long ago. They're not still on the podcast feed. I have been reissuing those. So I put out the original Kyle Rittenhouse breakdown that was like episode 20. I did the Nutty Putty Cave Death was last Saturday. I reissued that one, and day after tomorrow, the Giants of Kandahar is going to drop on that feed. So if you want a classic episode, something to listen to that was a good show before, there's extra content, I guess, coming out that way. I mean, it's not like you couldn't find it on YouTube if you wanted to listen to it, but I'm putting it in your feed for you. No Marines, you need to be a premium YouTube member for that. Yeah, premium also helps that. But if we turn off monetization, you also won't get ads. And that's what we'll be doing for the members only content. This is how you know that this person is like Gen X, Y, or Z. Austin is a spaz for real, for real. You guys, can you imagine? I'm not making fun of Las Mujeres because, like, you're just you. Can you guys imagine me talking that way? No cap. Bussin', saying these things. Ugh. All right. Midnight is a Taylor Swift thing. I wonder if I've heard that song. Maybe I just don't know it. I'm, it's possible I've heard it and I just know the lyrics and I don't know the title of the song. That's entirely possible. They're not supposed to interrupt the stream while it's live, only in rerun. They're allowed to do whatever they want to do, apparently. Hobo Mike is a good guy, and I meant you being the stripper, John. Yeah, I know. I know that's what you meant. I can never be nude. The ads are when you're on data. Maybe. You wouldn't have this problem if you kept up with the chat. I know. But then if I kept up with it, I would get to a point where I had nothing else to say. I'd just be sitting there waiting for someone to say something. Well, guys, anything else? Like, me being slightly behind you is actually good for the show. And I've done it before, Tyler, also, where I went through all the comments really fast just to stay on top of it, just as like out of spite. And then I'm like, well, now what? No one really got a decent reply to anything. And now I'm caught up and someone needs to say something. So I've got to stay kind of right behind the flow of things on the show. I'm sleeping Monday morning, so it doesn't help me. Oh my God. Quit discriminating against people who don't have Instagram. Quit discriminating against people who sleep in on Monday mornings. I sleep in on Monday mornings, but I get up to do the show. So what do I say? I literally get up for you. Like last Monday, like I literally woke up like 7 minutes before the show was supposed to start, and I was 1 minute late. So, but the thing is about it being members only, Marines Blood, is that you still get to watch it whenever you want to watch it. You don't have to be there when it's live, unless you want to be there live, in which case you got to wake up Monday morning. And I also just wanted to mention, you say that I sleep in Monday morning, so I can't watch it. What time is the Monday morning show? It doesn't have a fixed time. So sometimes I've done the Monday morning show as late as like 1 p.m. And I think you're East Coast time, so it was like 2 p.m. your time. You weren't awake yet? It's not that early because I'm not a morning person. It's not hurting me to have ads. So no problem on my end. Get that bag, John. Weddings are expensive. Thank you. Somebody's supporting me. She's not even a member and she's supporting me. For shame trying to double dip, but I'm not mad. I'm just confused. We actually discussed this on the last after show about how that would work. But any show that is for anyone to drop in and see, there'll be ads. Because this is Comp Center LLC. And as a member, Marines Blood, there's going to be other stuff too. So I want to mention this because someone reached out to me today from the Communists and they said, what am I getting for my $9.99? We can actually make content that will go out to just people at certain levels even. So like we have 3 levels. I think it's callers, call takers, and Comp Center certified. We can put out content to just specific people at specific levels. So there'll at some point there's going to be a live chat or something that's just people at the top, or the top tiers even of membership. And so there's a Monday show, there's a Thursday show. What if I did a Friday night show, just members only, just like this, just if you wanted to, or maybe I'll break down a case of something. I don't know, or whatever. So I'm more likely to be doing more stuff live for members only Marines Blood. So, and when I do that members only stuff, you won't be feeling like I'm double dipping you. You will feel treated. Case in point, what I'm working on right now, just so that you don't feel like I'm double dipping you all over the place. I don't know if you're excited about this or not, but it's that case that I've wanted to do for a year out of Ottawa County, Michigan, about the UFO. It talks about a 911 response. It talks about a police officer responding to a UFO. I'm just waiting for YouTube to give me the clearance on it, and that's going to roll out to members only. I'm going to be making more content tomorrow and Saturday that's just for you guys. So please don't feel like I'm double dipping you or like screwing you out of something. It's coming. I'm working on it. I've got a whole tablet here of things that I'm trying to make for you. So I take it seriously. And I know that you're probably kind of just teasing me a little bit, but we all know what I'm talking about. But like the Grandfather podcast had people who were members. There's still a lot of people that are members there. And there's no bonus membership only content on that platform. There's nothing that's there that's only for members. There's only one thing that I'm aware of, and it was a show called Radically Right with John and Kendra. We only did one episode before she left, but we dropped that for members only. So like that was a members only thing on that platform. And I don't like that. I don't like that people are paying money. And yes, they're supporting the digital creators of their choice. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just like, get something for it. So take it seriously. I know that so far you've only got the emojis and like my promises to kind of sustain you, but I'm not here to take your money and from your membership and then also show you ads and then like play you as a chump. I can only assure you at this point that I'm working on it. So Marines Blood, if you, like I said, this show, if there's something you want to see me do as a digital creator, you want me to respond to Bridgerton because April asked for that, tell me what that is. And then I'll either respond to it, I'll make something out of it, or I'll try because you're paying member around here. And I do take that seriously. So sorry if I'm like overreacting, but I guess I've been a paid podcaster for a little bit, and then I'm talking about Hard Time, where I deliver. Like Jake and I do 2 shows a week, and that's a lot sometimes. Like I devote 3 hours of my Saturday to this guy and getting that done so that you guys always have that bonus episode on Fridays. Since we started doing that months ago, I have never let that lapse where there's not that bonus episode. So like I don't know if you like Hard Time or not, but I guess I would tell you that the people who subscribe to Hard Time, they get a bonus episode. And so I'm serious about it. So I'm not and I don't read ads on Hard Time. And even if I did, it would be on the unpaid episode. On the paid episodes, I would not read ads. So just want to let you know that I care about that and that I'm not, this is a responsible podcast and we're not going to just take you for granted and screw you over. All right. It's 11:25. Cupcakes probably, or 10:25 or whatever time it was. She's probably left 10 minutes ago. Cupcakes, I hope you have a good night. April says, amazing how this group opens to so many time zones. Yeah. Alaska only has 2, which is weird. It was nice to see Mike on FTS. I had nothing to do with it. I didn't get to talk to him or anything. So if he ever came back, I would be fired. Just something to think about, because he would bring back, I'm sure, Elijah that would do my job instead. So Austin is in Fleckus. I knew who you meant. Live in the ghetto, baby. That's our whole vernacular. So sucka. Oh, okay. Mean response for just joking around. It's freaking awesome that we are all from all across the land. We are nighting everyone. On Mondays, I delay sleep for the show. I know. And I really need to be getting up earlier for April and apparently for Marine's Blood as well. I feel like I'm just getting burned in this episode. Oh, I'm sorry. You're not getting burned. You're not Will Cray. I'll burn Will Cray for a little bit. I'll work either Sunday night or Monday night so I can sleep during that time. Can't sleep, the clowns will get me. Is that a Simpsons reference? From like season 1? Well, in a legit comedy since I'm from California. That's what your kids are saying these days, right? Sorry, I didn't mean to make fun of you. I'm just like, I'm different. I'm old. And as you said, you're down with the olds, and I'm down with the youngs, I guess. Because I enjoy listening to you. Thank you, Marine's Blood. I don't know if you like Hard Time or not. I don't know if you're listening to that. I hope you are because it's me. I don't know if you like that show. It would be okay if you didn't. You're a member. You signed up, so you're gonna get that Monday morning show, even if it's live or if it's not live. You get it. You care deeply about your show, and it's your members and it shows, and you're doing just fine. Thank you, April. I hope so. Like, I want you guys to see that, like, I'm deeply vested in this. Like, this started as a hobby. Like, Dewey will tell you. I actually quit Dewey's worship team at the church. I had been on his team for 5 years doing sound, and I said, you know what? I really need Thursday nights off. And he's like, why? And I said, because I've been given a pretty cool opportunity to become a podcaster live on YouTube, and like, there's really no money in it, but I'll get to talk about my profession, and it'll go out to a pretty big audience that's just going to be handed to me. And this Drew guy, is a brilliant detective guy, has picked me to be on the show with him for no reason that I can think of other than I can draw pictures well. And so it was a huge opportunity. And so I invested myself in it. And Dewey's like, well, I don't have anyone to replace you. And I said, well, Dewey, I'm only going to do the show for a year. I was actually supposed to pack it in December. When we told Failure to Stop, we would do it for a year. And Drew was there for a year, and I'm still there. But I was supposed to be done podcasting, and I'm still here. I'm still vested in you guys. And if there was nobody in these chats right now, I would not be doing this. I'd probably be asleep. So just so you know, I think we all do, and not in a bad way, as if we don't mess with you, you don't like kind of way. Show me all the ads. How can I avoid them if I want? But I want to be profitable for you. A business minded. Thank you. I'm glad that we can get past things really easily. I don't think John. I think John doesn't understand ball busting. Nope. Real sensitive. Just a guy that's in pain all the time. So we all support you greatly. I know you guys do, and that's why I want to make sure that like what I'm giving you is worth it. Like, you guys are actually giving me your money. We live in a Joe Biden economy where like cereal's $7 a box, and somehow I'm like still on your list of disposable income. Are you kidding me? It's not nothing, guys. That means a lot. I support you greatly, John. I have never dropped money like I have on any YouTuber, and I'm interested in all the merch that fits into envelopes. One thing I can afford. Drew sent messages to me and Dewey within the last week about T-shirts. Drop a 1 in the chats if you're interested in T-shirts. He wanted to do ones with just like the regular Com Center logo, which would be. Let me see if I can see some logo that he would use. I don't have it preloaded, but I wanted to do like the Krispy Kreme logo. Do you guys remember when I put that on Instagram where it was like it said Com Center, but it was with K's. Even the center was spelled with a K, and it looked like the Krispy Kreme logo. That is my intent, is to maybe do T-shirts or mugs at some point. Do you guys like mugs? I don't know if you guys could see this. But I think it's cool, right? And you would use this in a Com Center. How conceited is it that I have an autographed mug of my own self on my desk? Somebody needs to do something to get this from me. I don't know what that would be. Maybe I should send it to Marine's Blood so that he stops feeling like I'm double dipping. You need to do the show at 6 a.m. for me to be there every other week. I don't even know what 6 a.m. would be here, but wherever you are, I could drop a show that wouldn't be live at 6 a.m. But man, I get off work at midnight and I don't get home till 1 in the morning. And sometimes I don't fall asleep till 2 or 3. So I can't, and I don't know what time it is here versus there, but I can't do this on like 3 or 4 hours of sleep and then still function going back to work until midnight again. So we're on radically different clocks, Marines. I will never go to Seattle. You know, Seattle might be a tough place, but I think the whole world is tough. And that's why I live on the fucking moon. You can't you tell that I've left the world behind? I've left everywhere behind. Seattle, Chicago, Parsippany, Madison, Waukesha, Des Moines. Des Moines is too rough for me. Las Mujeres. I live in the middle of nowhere. I can't handle anything. Thank you, sweetheart. Falkernator. Appreciate you. Listen to the Reagan episode last night. What did you guys think of that? That was a good episode. She's very interesting. You know, I can't think of a good reason to go to Seattle. Case in point. What would I do there? Go to that fish market? See a Mariners game? See a Seahawks game? Be wet? There's not much drawing me to Washington, to be honest with you. And case in point, my next vacation, I'm going to Florida, which is the opposite direction. So yeah, you're a tough person, and Seattle has made you, a tougher man than me, or something. Yeah, but only $1.99 of love, so don't get clingy. Yeah, it never gets too uncomfortable. When people only love me the amount of $1.99, I'm like, yeah, that's a reasonable amount. Seattle's a soft version of Vancouver. Oh man, shots fired. Shadow's hardcore, man. You just don't know. You guys get into it. I don't need a clingy John. Do you like that I'm kind of standoffish like Foxy? I don't think you were here earlier when I was talking about how there's a fan in the Wolfpack that doesn't like that I seem mean to them because I'm not very clingy or sweet. I just wonder what you think about that, because Foxy, as far as you and I go, I've busted your balls a few times and you've busted mine. But yeah, I'm not too clingy. I'm $1.99 worth of cling. John, cereal's $10 a box here. Well, that's Canadian dollars, so I would send you a gift card for some cereal, but I don't even know what kind of cereal exists in Canada or like a store that you would buy it at. I think you guys have Walmart, so maybe I'll get you a Walmart gift card. Cling to me, people. I have all that energy, Jaja. I would buy a t-shirt. Cool. The thing I worry about with t-shirts is that you'd have to make a whole bunch of them, right? Men's cuts, women's cuts, small, medium, large, extra large, 2XL. And then it's like, well, it doesn't fit. Didn't get delivered, and then you're mad at me. And I'm like, well, it's the merch company that's not coming through. But long sleeve t-shirts for Detzlav. So, but there's what is it called? Shopify or something, where you could just open up your own little shop and just sell your own stuff, and they just produce it as it gets purchased, and then they take a cut. That would be the way to do it. Hoodie better, yes, especially for people up in Seattle. I'll look into it, guys. If you can think of the name of that company where you can just buy merch like by the piece. I don't know if that's Shopify or whatever. It might be. Just let me know. John needs an I Love Me jacket. So I hate myself, as I've said multiple times. I've gone on the record. I said that at the list scrolling at the bottom is the order of people in which I would kill so that I would die first. I love me, but I'll also, can't face tomorrow. That's the situation. Comp Center Underground Railroad. April, what is this in reference to? Comp Center Underground Railroad. Laughing out loud a whole bunch. Just let me know what that's about later, I guess. So do the show as soon as you get home. That's what it would have to be. So I would play to a live audience of no one at that hour so that you could see it recorded. I will, just for you, Marines Blood, while you remember. I'll come here. I'll come home some night and just jump on live because why not? I'll just do it just for you. I literally will. Why the hell not? I'll just jump on live some random night. I'll call it the Marines Blood Show. And it'll just be for you. The person that reached out to me asking me what they got $9.99 for their $9.99 investment, they wanted personalized stuff. They wanted Drew to dress up as a taco and dance for them. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm gonna go ahead and commit Drew to that. He may be doing that soon. Awesome Harris. All offense, so offended. I'm gonna cry. Seattle's beautiful and amazing, but a little rough. Visit Bruce Lee's house. I'm so into Kung Fu, I would have to. You could visit a friend of mine, but she doesn't follow your show. Well, you should tell her to follow the show. Marysville is better, and also so is Leavenworth. Isn't Leavenworth in Kansas? I love you more than $1.99, but I still don't want to be clingy. You know, you could probably give me up to $4.99 before I would worry. There are print-on-demand services. You know, somehow I knew that you would know about this because you have access to Google. We have an understanding, John. I'm an asshole, and I've dealt with some of life, so I don't take most of people seriously. I'm glad. Because I have... I anticipated you. I don't have access to Google. It's locked down for me. My fun money is spent for the week. I get refilled tomorrow, or I would be dropping some dollars. Don't worry about it, Tyler. You've done your part, man. There's people here tonight in green letters because of you. Minor League Studios does the Disruptor stuff to order. I have a shirt and a hoodie, and it's great quality, limited run. Maybe. I could look into it. Andrea really was all about merch, wasn't she? You guys get mad at me. You think that I'm a cynical money grabber for like, become a member, drop a super chat. Like, Andrea wanted to sell y'all merch big time. She was constantly commissioning me for merchandise, which, by the way, I commissioned no less than like 8 works of art for her for free. And they didn't end up winding up on her shirts, and she didn't end up selling them or paying me any money. And I'm not mad about it at all. I just like rabble rousing. John, my daughter needs a half dozen hooded t-shirts. Let me know and what happens, please. You guys will be told if there's merch. If it's as easy as this, I'll just look into it. Minor League Studios, I'll write it down. I thought Shopify was another one of them. I thought I remember even listening to a podcast once on my way home in the middle of the night and hearing an ad for Shopify. Are you a small-time podcaster that wants to sell merch? You could do it on Shopify. And I'm just like, and then I just, forgot about it. Sorry, Falk, but you're too nice to be an asshole. I know. She is really nice. John isn't recording in his house right now. Yeah, this is my house. I have no way of verifying that. Stay away from white rum, only Jamaican or cherry rum. You know, I'm not a big rum guy. Big into bourbon. I had tequila the other day. I had a big frozen margarita because it was really just fucking hot and I didn't have air conditioning. And it gave me the first brain freeze I've had since I was a child. I forgot that even happened. John, you'll be receiving an email about this. Okay. I feel like I'm in trouble. What does it say? Just toughen up, man. Looks like I'm finally catching up. If memory serves, he's out of Iowa. Super cool guy. Helped me a ton research. Okay, you guys are just talking your thing. Tyler has HR on the phone already. All right. Speaking of being on the phone, I finally caught up with you guys. Let's see if I have any messages or anything interesting. I have a haircut tomorrow. Oh, yeah. My flight departing on September 11th has been canceled. I have to figure that out. Drew wants to do some things. Okay. That's all I got. Any phone calls? I guess I could throw my number up on the screen if anyone does want to call. Losmer Harris, you've never called me. For someone who's real tough in Seattle, you sure don't pick up the phone. Where's that thing that I use? Phone line is not going to be open long, gang. This is your only chance. We've already been going for 2 hours, which is pretty good for me. You guys have any comments on Hannah Payne? Until I get a phone call, I'll just talk about Hannah Payne. But I wonder if I've been able to change anybody's mind about how she's being treated. The final installment is next week. It's Hannah Payne Part 8, I believe. It's the end. And I know this because it's already been recorded. It's already been locked and loaded, ready to go. And it's the end of Hannah Payne. And there's still some more rants to come, but then we'll close the books. And we never meant for it to be a summer series. We wanted it, but we also at the same time didn't shy away from it. We're like, what would it be like if we really just broke down a case to the nth degree? Because every time we did a part of the Hannah Payne thing, we would just learn more and more and more and more, and how it just wasn't as simple as it seemed. It wasn't just like somebody being, freeway Batman and then killing a guy. It was more complicated, more nuanced than that. And you guys all live your own lives. You know, when you step in shit, you know how it turns out. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Well, it's about time you figured it out.
Oh, yes. Well, I was getting scared. So how are you? Do you realize you just called me up and laughed at me? That was very super villainish of you.
Yeah, well, we love you. I'm just mentally ill, that's all.
Yeah, you love me and like I love you, and that's why I have to kill you. That's what scares me.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm busted, but
I'm just glad that I finally got to the end of it. But in some ways it's kind of sad because the mystery was fun. Whenever you would call and leave a message, I'm just like, what the hell's going on here?
The weird part? I put a signature on that first call. Like it was a big, fat sign that could only have said, "Oh yeah, this has got to be Carrie."
I guess I'm just not as much of a detective as Drew. But the thing is that Drew and I would talk about you, trying to decode like what's with your name and what's with all the Castilian and all this. And we would go back and forth, and Drew had all these interesting theories about you. But the thing is that Drew always had 2 feet in reality about you. And I wanted to make it as preposterous as possible. Like when I referred to you as the Zodiac and all this, I wanted it. I wanted you to be honest. I wanted to have a nemesis. And so it's cool that you're calling me and all this.
Oh, you do?
Well,
you do. You have a nemesis.
Is it you or is it someone else?
Both.
Okay.
I'm just not dangerous. There's a difference.
Okay. No, actually, having a
I'm
nemesis that's
mentally
not
ill. I'm not
dangerous is,
dangerous.
yeah, that would be fine. Having a nemesis that's not dangerous would be good because, like I've said it before on the show too, that like, um, you know, uh, I would never hurt anyone because I'm too lazy. So same thing. For kind of for
It
me,
kind of, yeah.
where we can both be nemesis, but like neither one of us really has the energy to go out of the house today. So that's really good.
Perfect. I love this plan.
Yeah. So
we'll make it work on COD.
Yeah, there you go. So like, how are you, or what do I even ask you? I don't even know.
What you should be doing right now is say, Carrie, could you just not? So I can say no.
I could play it up. Will you stop your demented mind games? Tell me where you are. Where's the trigger? Is that what you wanted?
No, I can't. It doesn't work that way, Batman.
Oh, yeah. You'd make a decent Riddler.
Oh, I was thinking Joker, but okay.
Oh, sorry. You could make a Joker too. I didn't mean to sell you short. I like the Riddler.
No. It's 6 to 1, half dozen the other.
See, the thing is, I could have said Clue Master, who's like a discount Riddler, but I didn't say Clue Master. So there's always another level lower that maybe you're not aware of. I don't know how big of a Batman guy you are, but Clue Master is also one of his villains.
I may not rate that high. Okay. Moving on. But yeah, if you quit the show, I swear to God, I'm going to stop watching.
If I quit the show, if the show ceases to exist, you won't watch anymore.
Exactly.
I think
if Drew quits,
I think the show would go on without me. I think Drew would find someone to replace me, which would have my blessing if he did. So.
Well, okay, you got to be there for the last one, like officially hand the torch over. Then it might be okay.
I will say, like, here's the new guy. He is the new me now, and I love you all. Goodbye forever. The scary thing is we're having a good time, and we're like just launching this as a thing, but this show will end at some point. You know what I mean? Like, true crime coming to an end. Really just showed me that, like, really nothing does last forever, and at some point,
so did Star Trek.
Say again.
So did Star Trek. Okay, but they went out with a big bang, and then came back.
Yeah, Star Trek's a little bit different. Star Trek has a different level of popularity, and Star Trek, I mean, what are you going to see? Comm Center: The Next Generation with like two different guys who are talking about police and 911. I mean,
wait, hold up. That's not such a bad idea.
I suppose not.
Just yes, Salamander.
Drew,
moving on.
Salamander says Drew and John are get the fuck out. What if the new guys are good? Kendra was good. People liked Andrea, and then Kendra came in, and I thought Kendra was great. Like, sometimes the next man up can be good.
But no, I wanted to congratulate you on almost a year, which is kind of scary, but you finally figured it out. Congratulations.
Well, again, you're welcome, but a year of barely thinking about it as well. So, like I said, I didn't have the yarn and the photos behind me of me like with a magnifying glass and furrowing my brow and all this. So,
no, the quack quack quack. The branches of the military is farm animals. Coasties are ducks because we're fucking vicious little bastards.
Ducks are my favorite animal.
We're just mean.
I always took it as a threat, to be honest with you. I'm like, my God, he's invoking the call of the only animal that has mastered all domains. Ducks can swim underwater, they can fly, they can walk. They don't stay wet. Their quacks don't even echo. And they fight without remorse.
True.
So I always took it as a threat.
It wasn't meant that way. No. It was, we're vicious little bastards, but I'm your duck.
All right. Well, you're my nemesis, but neither one of us has the energy to do anything. So nice to finally talk to you. Thank you for calling in. I guess you were waiting until I figured it out, which, could have been just as easily forever. So
until one of you did. All right. I'm going to get out of here and let a paying customer come in now.
All right, man. Well, you have a good night. Thanks for calling in.
Good night.
Good night. Quack, quack, quack. That wasn't so scary. All right. Last call for phone calls. He did dance for 5 last time. Didn't take much. You called me an email stalker, basically, and you expect me to break my ultra deep cover status to call in? Haha, tripping. You're not an email stalker. To be honest, if you want to talk to me more easily, I know that you said you don't want to be on Instagram, even though you're liking David's pictures on there. That's usually where the best place to find me is, because that's like the only app that I use. The other thing that you can do if you wanted to is that you could just text me using this phone number. It also receives text. So um, if you texted this and just said, "Hey, it's Les Mojeras," I would answer you, and we could have a back and forth conversation that might be easier for you. Also, like in the emails, sometimes you come at me pretty hot too, and so I'm just like, you know, you just sometimes it's like it seems like you hate me, so I'm not sure why you're talking to me. But I think it's a personality difference thing, because apparently I don't understand it when you're just busting my balls. You should change your name to Seattle's Best. This guy is petting a hairless cat right now. I also got that impression. He does kind of have that cartoonish supervillainy thing, which is fine. Everybody needs a thing. Everyone needs a motif. My comments probably get me in shit. I'm not calling you to say something stupid to give no fucks about and feelings, and that does not need to be on the internet. Okay, sorry. Again, am I being too sensitive tonight? Because this one also seems to be kind of angry. I might just be like really bad at this, because it seems like my comments probably can get me in shit. I think maybe you're just trying to say like you don't want to get in trouble at work or like politically, maybe, because Canada doesn't exactly have free speech anymore. Drew and John, get the fuck out. What if we did Comm Center with me and Kendra though? Like, what if Drew said, "You know what? I just want to go set sail on the seas." I turn the show over to you, John. Good luck. Carry the torch. Spread the word about 911 dispatchers. And then Kendra, as a former law enforcement officer, came on, and we did the same thing with Kendra. Just hypothetically, I'm not offering that up. Drew's not retiring. Drew probably wouldn't even give the show to me. It would probably go to one of his family members, because it is his business. Literally, he owns Drew Comm Center LLC. It's an actual thing. And so, but like, what if like that happened? Like, you wouldn't want me to continue on, or Drew to continue on without me? Like, what if the sheriff said to me like, so you have two choices. You can quit doing this podcasting shit, or you can get a new job. And I need to pay the bills, and I like would have to step away from the podcast. You wouldn't want Comm Center to go on without me? I would hope that you would. Like, what we're doing is bigger than me or Drew or even us together. The word getting out, the stuff that we're talking about, critical thinking, understanding the way your government works, an emergency response and trauma and all the stuff that we talk about. I think all that stuff's bigger than either me or him. And that's why we cheer on people and have other people on who are kind of our arena. We had Conrad Weaver on, who did a film about PTSD 911. We had, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting her name now, but she from Hello 911, Dominique. She came on our show. She's someone who's kind of parallel to us, because the mission is the number one thing. Either you great grandkids will be doing the show, or the two of you as cyborgs. No, you can't quit. You have to download your brains into an indestructible android body. If John quits, I will quit too. Well, I'm not planning to. I'm just saying, when True Crime ended, it was kind of surreal, because like at one point, like it was the last episode, and then the next week there wasn't an episode. Kendra's fine. But if say it was Kendra and not you, that'd be a problem. Kind of like more without Kiefer, a hard time with no Jake. Makes no sense. The thing is with hard time without Jake is that if you go back and listen to our earliest episodes, he's not in every episode. He wasn't even in the last episode. So Hard Time is he's done 2 episodes of Hard Time without me. Which maybe you guys don't realize is like I produced the show. So like I'm still involved in making it. It wasn't like I took the day off. Like I just wasn't in it. Actually, the highest rated episode of Hard Time ever does not have me in it. It has Anthony Ganji in it, who has his own show. And Abby has hosted Hard Time before. So case in point. It sucks I caved because her big sister has one, but I'm a mush when it comes to my girls. If it's not John and Kendra doing night shift, there is no night shift. Should we call it night shift? I half want to call it night shift. I mean, it does have a name. Kendra already did pick out a name. Crazy question. Why doesn't everyone call in? I'm mentally ill, but I'm right. I don't know why people don't call and want to talk to me. I think they're a little gun shy. And that's actually kind of why I created Aftershow. I admit it was completely my idea. Because people didn't want to call in because they didn't want to interrupt the flow of the show we were doing on OG Com Center. And some people they don't want to put themselves out there in front of other people. But I wish you would call in. People like Las Mujeres, I wish you would call in because it would just be nice to have an actual conversation with you. I think that's the major advantage of doing this, is being able to interact with you guys, and it's fun. Here's the thing about Hard Time, Salamander. I haven't been a correctional officer for almost 10 years. I've told every story that I have to tell. I remembered one more in this last episode with Reagan about Ricky Johnson telling me how happy he was that Barack Obama got elected because finally there was one of them in the White House, and I said a convicted felon. That may have been my last prison story. I don't know how much else I have to contribute to the conversation. So now that the show's making money, all I really need to do is teach Jake some things about running the show, and then I don't foresee myself doing that show forever, and I don't want the show to end and then have him just be screwed. Why can't he keep doing the show on his own? He makes money that way. He wants to talk about corrections. If Jake wants to take over ownership of the show, which, I kind of view it as co-owned at this point, but if he wanted to do it after I quit, I would be fully in support of that. And he would have to be honest, I think he'd have to find another guy to kind of keep up that same energy, just because he definitely has his own energy, which I like. I like that he's sedate and he can't be riled up for anything. But, stuff would have to change. And change is always hard, and no one likes change. Like, nobody liked it when Mike the Cop left, but without Mike the Cop, you wouldn't have me. Without Andrea leaving, you wouldn't have Kendra. So it's like, me leaving Hard Time, who might be next up? You don't know. Could be somebody awesome. Could be somebody you like a lot more than me. Somebody that could take a compliment. Someone that doesn't beg you for money. It could just be the perfect podcaster. Maybe he's even got the perfect beard and he's got rough hands. I don't know. Could always be the case that whoever's next is even better. I don't make any claims to being God's gift to podcasting. Things have changed in prison since you've been there. I know. The things that you have told me make me feel far away from prison. You make me feel, you don't make me feel bad, but you make me feel like I have no idea what I'm talking about anymore. You make me feel like my experience is antiquated, outdated, outmoded, irrelevant. Because the world was a different place 10 years ago, politically, not just within our own state, but in the world. And the stuff that were the issues in corrections 10 years ago are not the issues today. And the state of corrections is not the same. Corrections is crumbling. It's way more dangerous than it ever used to be when I worked there. Correctional officers are still not getting appreciated. They're not getting their due as law enforcement officers. And I call them LEOs, not at all ironically. They do enforce the law. They enforce state law. They act as first responders of all kinds, and they get no love at all. And neither do nurses, frankly. And I try to include medical stuff on that show as often as possible because prison nurses aren't getting their due for what they. Can you imagine having to be a healthcare provider to the world's most dangerous people? Or your state's most dangerous people? But I can't imagine I can do hard time forever because I'm like half charlatan on that show. I was only a CO for 6.5 years. So I've been gone longer than I even was a CO. There was a time where being a CO was my entire identity, like professionally. But the podcast should have started a long time ago because I've just got like anecdotes and ideas about how it's supposed to work. I couldn't do the show without Jake or someone who was a correctional officer now because I would have no credibility. The show would be pointless. But Jake could find someone else to do the show where it would still be funny, humorous, entertaining, informative, important. So I guess I would, before you say like, oh, if you quit the show, if you quit hard time, I'm not going to do that anymore. Like, give some love to Jake. Like, that guy deserves something, right? Like, he puts effort and energy into it too. And he deserves to succeed as a podcaster, like, I'm not the world's best podcaster. Neither is he. Neither one of us thinks we're like bound to be Joe Rogan, but it shouldn't be the case that if I walk away from that he loses out. I would hate that actually. That do you realize like the responsibility and weight that puts on my shoulders that in order for Jake to succeed, I have to stay? That's kind of heavy, man. Because it makes me responsible. And I would want him to succeed without me. I would want him to do well without me. I want to set him up for success. When Eric brought me into the fold, I mean, that's what happened is that he took the success that he got from Mike the Cop. He got set up for success and he passed it on. He gave me the ability to come in here and start this. And so when I was given the opportunity to do a show on Patreon, I said, I want to do the same thing. I care about corrections. He's a correctional officer. And he and I love doing the show together. But, I can't do it forever. I'm going to be doing Comm Center longer than Hard Time because I'm still a 911 dispatcher. And so if I have to leave Hard Time at any point in the future, I'm not planning to, but I guess I would want you to support Jake, not bail on him. Because I'll always be here and I'll be listening to Hard Time with Jake and whoever, I'll be supporting that show. And I'll probably still drop in or something. I'm not officially quitting that show by any means or anything, but I've talked to him about the future of the show and he wants it to go on indefinitely, he has said. And I don't know if I can do indefinitely. Right now my mode is set to indefinite, like I'm not planning to leave. But I don't kid myself to think that I can do it forever, but he possibly can. So if that show ever changes, I guess I would want you to support that show. Sermon over. You still did the job, and it's about the chemistry between hosts. We learned that it's at FTS that consistency matters. It's true. But sometimes you get a new interaction that's good. Like I said, like there's no reason for me and Kendra to have ever had a show. She and Tansy were doing the show, and I just reached out to ask Tansy, like, do you mind if I fill in for you? Like, there's a case I want to do with her, and he's like, yeah, you could take it over if you want. And so if we went by only consistency matters, you would have never gotten me and Drew. You would have never gotten me and Kendra, and like all the stuff that's pretty good. It never would have happened. And if consistency was all that mattered, I would have never become a podcaster in as big of an arena as I am, which is not a big arena, but it's something that I'm grateful for. Then there would be no Hard Time either. So if like consistency was all that mattered, it would mean we would never be open to any kind of change and we'd never be open to anything new or better than the stuff that has come along. That, case in point, Salamander, you don't like the way that some of those shows have gone. You don't like how some of those shows have changed over the years. But it opened up new opportunities for new good things. So I just encourage you to maybe hold on a little bit. Like if I ever did have to quit or either show or whatever, I would want you to support Com Center with Drew and by himself, or Com Center with Drew and Abby Ellsworth, or whatever. Whatever happened with that. Stop being so nihilistic. Your great show is great. It is. Well, I know, but the show is great, and I love doing it. But let's not kid ourselves. I'm not Joe Rogan. I'm terrible at holding conversations. Why I don't call? Yeah, but I would interview you. I would say, "How are you? How is firemen fighting? Have you fought any cool fires lately?" You know. And if I was sensing that you didn't want to be on the phone, I would let you go. I feel like I missed a lot. And Will Crazier. Shit has changed dramatically in the last 4 years. You can't control that. I can't, but I also can't sound like an expert on something I'm not an expert on anymore. Like we've done 3 episodes now about what it is to have transgender politics inside prisons. I never dealt with that on even one occasion. Not once did I ever encounter a transgendered inmate. And we've gone over the numbers on the show to see how those populations have exploded. And correctional officers every day in jails and prisons are dealing with that. That's just one example of an issue. So we'll come up with a case like there was a lady in Dallas who went through the same thing. Various other cases where they're asking for the state to pay for their transitions and things like this. How do I get on there and do anything other than pontificate? Right? Like I have my opinions about things, and I get on there and I make some people cheer for me, and I alienate the rest. But I don't speak. I can't speak in an informed way about what it's like to be a correctional officer and be in that situation because I have no idea. So I can't control things changing, but I have to admit that I'm outdated. I don't have uh, I don't have I don't have modern experience as a correctional officer. It's almost like I'm not that anymore. In a sense, yeah. Will, you can call in, I guess. Ripped out many new ones. Don't feel left out. Can I imagine it? Barely. My rants need to be shorter. I do look a little tired. I'm a little sleepy. I'm a little sleepy guy. If I hadn't eaten today, I would already be asleep. Jake is a great guy. He's all right. The phone lines have actually been open this entire time.
Call from.
Hey, Will.
Hey, John. How's it going?
I'm a little sleepy guy. What's going on with you, buddy?
I'm in that same boat there too. Not much.
Where have you been all night?
Just want to call and say, where have I been all night? I was watching the big political event of the night.
Oh, did Trump deliver a good speech?
I fell asleep halfway through it.
Oh, so probably not.
It was interesting for about 30 minutes, and then he went on for another hour.
Did he get shot?
And I'm not kidding.
Yeah, but it's the RNC. And I think, isn't it the last night of that? I mean, isn't he supposed to kind of go on for a long time?
I think so.
You're judging him for talking for an hour and a half. You realize I've been on for 2 hours and 42 minutes, right?
Yes, but you have more interesting things to talk about.
Yeah, thank you. Most people say it's the best podcast ever. A lot of people say that.
The best?
That was my best Donald Trump impression, and it wasn't very good. I'm sorry.
I don't know. It was better than mine, so.
So how have you been in the past week?
Okay. Did some work out of town. Then had another pistol competition tonight, and I got disqualified because I didn't follow instructions.
Did you shoot a guy?
But, I wish. That would have been interesting. But no, they just, whatchamacallit, they tell you to load your pistol at a certain time, and I went to load it right before that. So he's like, I'm sorry to say, but you're DQ'd. I was like, whatever. My second time doing it. So I don't feel that bad.
Get better for next time. I need to go shooting more often. We talked about this last week already, though, that I can't carry a firearm into your state without being arrested by Governor Tim Walz, or whatever his name is.
Well, the thing that you just do is.
Oh, okay. You gonna come bail me out?
I have $20.
So no. Okay, I guess.
And by April,
is April leaving?
She's leaving.
Okay.
Yes.
April, you have
You're 8 miles back in chat.
April's up, which means I'm out. April, you have a good night and happy birthday, April.
Oh, it's her birthday too?
Yep, it's her 38th birthday. So good night to April and happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
All right. Yeah, so what else is on your mind?
Not much. I just had a really tough work week, and it's not done. Because my whatchamacallit, my work is like, hey, you need to work Saturdays now. So now I'm going to be working 6 days a week.
Are they going to pay you more?
It's going to be terrible. Well, obviously, I get overtime, and then, yeah, I'm making a lot. I'm going to be making a lot of money now. It's going to be nice, but.
So you will be able to bail me out.
Yeah. Maybe. Or what you do is you just don't get caught. That also works, I've been told.
Well, I think what the solution we came to was that I'm going to open carry, so I don't know how that would work.
Well, okay. I mean, do what you want.
I have no plans to come up to Minnesota anytime soon, but I ought to so that we can go to Kevin's Tacos or whatever it is.
Tacos El Kevin?
Tacos El Kevin. Del Kevin.
Yes.
Anything else on your mind, bud?
No, I think I'm going to go to bed.
All right, man. I'll probably do the same soon, but I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah. Good talking to you.
Yeah, you take care, bud. I'm sorry that you're being asked to work more, but yeah, I guess do the best you can and make the best of it and enjoy the money.
All right. Bye, John.
All right, you take care. I love you. Just to be clear, the phone lines are open the entire time. If you already know my phone number because you're my personal friend, it just rings through to my phone or whatever, whichever number you have, you can call that and you can talk to me whenever you want. Because me reading comments is not so terribly interesting. We're just giving you love. Of course, we support the cause. Hard Time loves you because your commentary, even as an NCO, is valid and interesting. Same as Comp Center. I would hope that my commentary on Comp Center means something because most of the time when I'm doing Comp Center, I literally am like less than 24 hours away or from answering a 911 call. I did message John on Instagram, but no reply, and that was weeks ago. So I'm on Instagram all the time. And it's possible that your message got routed to like a message request. So let me check here to see for your messages. I have 2 hidden requests. They both appear to be robots offering me to see girls that are 18 years old. So I have no messages from you, Los Mujeres. The other thing is that your identity is like a secret. So I'll just go through my messages. Detzlav just messaged me. I just got a message from Christy in Australia. The Hard Timers thread. Jeremy Creed sent me a reel. My friend Casey sent me something. Kendra sent me something. Carly, Jonesy, Megan, Simon Martin. I don't think that's you, is it? No, that's some guy I don't know. He sent me something about TSA and bees, so he's a fan of me, but I don't interact with him too much. Jason Kiefer. I sent something to Mike Edwards by mistake. I tagged him in that picture I made of him and Tansy, but he'll never answer me. He's big time. He's too big time for me. Felony Melanie. Heidi. I don't think that you're Heidi. You're definitely not Heidi. Heidi's got a family. Andrew Baxter, Melissa, Brittany, Lumberchef, Micah, Salamander, Christy, my sister, Jenny. I don't think that's you. Jake, Julie, John, Deanna, Liz, Tanner, Melanie, Madge, Clark, a friend of mine from 100 years ago, Will. This could be you. Except this person has a different name than you, so it literally couldn't be you. Jim Rockford, a friend of mine from college. Nate Simpson, Nick, 3 weeks ago now. Joseph, I messaged him and he didn't message me back. That's him talking about how funny he was when I started an episode of when we did the fake out on Illegal Shift, when Kiefer started the episode saying, well, John quit and now I don't know what to do. And then I started the show saying, guns up, idiot. I'm at back, idiots. He said that made him laugh. Reno, a police officer I used to work with. Daniel, Donut Shops, Eric, Lauren, Alicia, Kelly, one more out of here, Andrea, Police Law News, Gatekeeper Copy, Red Pill Threads, Michael, Mike Dutcher, Dispatcher Shenanigans, and now I'm like 9 weeks ago. So I literally just went through all my Instagram chats right on the screen. There's no request pending. I didn't get a message from you, Lasma Harris. I don't know if you sent it to somebody else, but I never got it. So if you wanted to send me another message right now would be a good time, because I will look at it right now and then I will know who you are or respond to you. We still got sunlight in the West Coast, so we really enjoy listening to you and Kendra together. Did you catch that she has sent me some cases and that it's possible we might be on a reunion tour, even if it's only temporary? We might do some more. Wish could post pictures on the YouTube chat. It's a nice sunset. I come down here before sunset and I miss sunset to be with you guys. And literally, I only get I get 3 sunsets a week. I get Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. By Sunday, I'm back at work. I'm in at work. So I give up a sunset to be here. And I actually like sitting on my porch and watching that. No, by consistency, I mean they drop and add people, not because it benefits the show, but because it's necessary to add things to continue the network. Yeah, the network doesn't really have a consistency anymore, other than me and Keith. Monday nights has some consistency. I don't know. People come and go. The thing is that you can only get people to do what they want to do. You can't make people stay if they don't want to. Sometimes people don't realize that podcasting is a lot of work and there's almost no payoff for it. Like you don't become rich overnight. Like case in point, it took us forever to get Comp Center monetized. John would not make it in the firehouse. He likes to take things too seriously. The fire department did not call me back. I tried to become a firefighter and they didn't want me, Chase. Here's the other thing. I'm a different guy when I'm at work versus when I'm here. And also when I'm not very sleepy. When you guys would catch me at my best, I'm actually not that sensitive. I frequently use she, her pronouns with inmates now. She works in an all-male facility, so. I wouldn't do well with that, to be honest with you. I just I wouldn't be able to like willingly engage in a campaign of intellectual dishonesty to satisfy the feelings of a person who's in prison. Like, I'm not out to be disrespectful towards anyone, but I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't use the right pronoun with you, inmate. It's like, that's not the power dynamic that exists in prison. And, we invent things like ma'am and sir and pronouns to make our lives easier, not harder. And by changing them away from norms, we make our lives a lot harder. But the whole reason they exist is to act as a respectful shortcut. You don't know someone's name, you call them sir or Mr. or whatever. It's just simpler that way. We do that so that we can be respectful towards each other in moments of social uncertainty. And we create these heuristics, these mental shortcuts to help us all get along better. Society is, it's completely made up, right? It's social, or the way our society all interacts with each other. It's entirely contrived. But it's important that we as a race cooperate with each other. And so we make up these things to help us get along. And it's to the point where our entire reality is socially constructed. The foundations of what our world is, it's all based on how we interact socially. And the social way that in which our reality is constructed has a bedrock of things that don't change, right? So our reality is socially constructed. The way we perceive the world and other people, it's all based on those rules. That's our foundation, right? You can walk out of your house and you could take certain things for granted. Like when you see a woman, you could call her ma'am. You see a man, you can call him sir. And what happens is that when you demand individual dignity down to the level where someone shouldn't be calling you by the wrong pronoun, you're taking out that bedrock and you're putting in sand underneath it. And so somebody gets offended, and then a group of people get offended, and then you have two groups of people who are having some kind of argument or debate or some kind of animosity or fight over nothing, some aspect of our socially constructed reality. We're having fights about it, and it's all for no reason. For millions of years, we invented ways to relate to each other that cut through that bullshit so that we could just actually deal with each other. And now it's like we don't have that anymore. And I wouldn't be able to say like I'm not doing this, like I'm just because of the frivolity of it. It has nothing to do with the individual respect for that person, which I'm not here to, even inmates, I'm not here to take away their dignity. But I can't engage in frivolity. I can't go around on tiptoes. I can't wonder what I'm supposed to call somebody. And the danger aspect of it for inmates, especially the idea that we have inmates of different sexes confined together, even if you want to concede that they actually are different sexes, and that's the ultimate concession that people in the transgender movement want. We're putting people in danger, human beings in danger of all sexes. And so catering into that and kowtowing to that is not something I'm in favor of. And that has nothing to do with any specific people. And there's people out there that say that we're discriminating against the LGBTQ community by not allowing them to have sex in prison. We literally covered that in an episode of Hard Time. It was actually the same prosecutor in the Hannah Payne case. I might be wrong on that. I want to walk that back because it could be confusing two things. It's very late at night. But there was a case where there was someone that wanted inmates to be able to have relations with each other because we didn't want to stand in the way of homosexual relationships in prison, because that would be gay bashing. No one should have a relationship with each other in prison. There shouldn't be romantic relationships in prison, regardless of sex. There shouldn't be transgendered relationships. There shouldn't be homosexual relationships. There shouldn't be heterosexual relationships in prison. There shouldn't be sex in prison. It's not about gay bashing. It's about keeping people safe from rape, since no one can consent in prison. I'm off of that. And I like how now I said the R word. This episode cannot be monetized further. At least I waited until 3 hours to do that. Pronoun is a part of speech, so you use it in speech and writing. I don't know. Good night, Detslav. April, we already said good night to. I have 10-foot man energy. I am pretty tall. What's my number? I should find a way to like put it on there so that I can still do the chats while the number's still visible, huh? I bet I could do that. I'll figure that out so that the number just stays on the screen. And we don't have to worry about it anymore. But probably going to wrap it up here because I'm getting pretty sleepy. But before I go, because there's only 8 of you left, although it is probably the 8 most important people, I still don't have a message from Las Mujeres. So, Las Mujeres, you say you sent me a message and that I ignored you, and now shoes on the other foot. I'm being ignored by you. It's okay. You can communicate with me however you want. Just some ways are better than others. Gentlemen not make it in the fire. I'm way back from where I was. Tall man energy. I'm 6.5 feet tall. Of course, the doctors say I'm getting closer to 6'4", so I guess I'm like shrinking. John is such a nice guy, so patient and tolerant. And the world doesn't think so. I don't think the prison would even employ me anymore. I think I'd be run out of there. Reunion tour for true crime. It's possible. She sent me some cases, Will. She has sent me some cases I need to become familiar with. So I don't know. It's looking good, but I cannot make a commitment on her behalf, of course. And if that show launches, I'll tell you guys all about it. So if I call everyone little fucker, I support equality. Yeah, you would think you would be able to say like, okay, I'm just going to call everyone inmate. That's what my preference would be. If I was in that situation today, like if I had to work there, I would call that person inmate. I would say inmate, and then I would use their name. Inmate Johnson. Inmate, whatever, Walters. And that way you just avoid the whole thing. But then I have a feeling that they would push it, say my name or whatever, like that Breaking Bad thing. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it a night. But before I do that, I'm going to check the YouTube stats to see the names of our new members because Salamander gifted out 5 tonight. So hold on. Let's look at that. Let's look at members. See your members. Okay. It doesn't list anyone as being a member since April, so I don't know if I have to hit refresh, maybe. Oh, okay. We got new members. So here's our new members. 99 problems, but I can't see the whole thing. 99 problems, but crime ain't one, maybe? Let me click on our page. Yeah, 99 problems, but crime ain't one. I think maybe you guys made reference to this earlier. Maybe you guys saw it in the chats, and I couldn't see it because I'm not on YouTube. Ed Gein. Upsetting. Dennis Randolph, now part of the Commandos. Annie Ruler and David Wainwright. So these are people that have been fans of the show or seen the show. I have no idea who they are. I would like to say to 99 Problems, Ed Gein, Dennis, Annie, and David, welcome to your membership. I hope you show up and that you get something out of it, and that you Hope I can impress you. If there's nothing else, guys, I will see you back here probably some random time for the Marines Blood show. You can call in Marines Blood if you want. But I guess I would encourage you to just go ahead and do that right now. If it was allowed, it would definitely get away out of hand very quickly. See, this is why I won't call in. Yeah. I understand, man, because it's very easy to get on a rant. I have to check myself on Comm Center all the time because in Comm Center, I'm like really trying to represent 911 dispatchers very well and the profession well. And I can't behave in like certain ways without.
Call from.
Hello.
Hi there.
Is it Marines?
Yes, sir.
What's up, man?
Not much. Not much. Figured I'd just call and say hi.
I appreciate you calling to say hi. So what's the deal that you got to do your boss's job now?
He's on vacation right now, so I got to do some of his stuff, like putting in production on the machine we're running. So
okay,
and then making sure everything's good.
And so are you running that machine that you're not allowed to say what it is because it could disclose your identity right now?
Well, I mean, I'm not the tower operator. I'm the ground guy.
Okay.
But I'm the most flexible guy. So I basically get doing all the extra stuff. The tower operator's got to stay in the tower. Loader's got to stay in the loader. I can wander around. So
I'm sure your boss is not the only one that appreciates how flexible you are.
I was offered the loader position, but I decided to stay.
Well, I appreciate you becoming a member, particularly because you weren't necessarily big on the idea, but you did it anyway. I also did notice that you've been a longtime member of Failure to Stop, so I wanted to thank you for that too, just because you have been paying that for a long time, and that's something that's directly benefited me as well. So thank you for both of those things, and hopefully we'll get you some content here very quickly that will make you feel appreciated, because that's what I'm all about, man.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, the best contact would be proving you're alive by doing burnouts in your living room. But
I'm live right now. I don't know how I can prove to you anymore that I'm live, and I'm scratching my beard and touching my ear and doing all the things that people always demand of me to do. You know, I'm here.
But you haven't did burnouts in your living room, so that doesn't.
I'm in my basement. I can't get a car down here. You know, I have a big enough yard where I could probably go out there and tear up my lawn. Maybe I'll just do that for you. I'll just live stream that for you, okay?
That might be good enough.
I'll figure out something just for you, okay?
All right. Just don't do too much stuff. I mean, I pay you money now, so I don't want to have to pay too much more for your repair stuff.
Well, I just want you to get more out of it. I want to increase the value for you, okay?
Hey, I think the value is good enough right now.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, bud. Thanks for calling in. If you don't mind, I think I'm going to go hit the hay. I'm pretty tired.
Hey, I know. That's one of the reasons why I was iffy about calling in. I wanted you to go to bed. But I figured if I don't call in now, I'm probably not going to be able to for the next over a month, because our machine's going to go down, and it'd be iffy calling while I'm home, and then calling while here at work wouldn't be an option because I'd be working with the rest of the crew. So I can speak away now. So.
Well, I appreciate you calling in, and hopefully I'll be looking for you in the chats, but I understand if you're busy. So thanks so much for calling in, and I hope you have a good night and stay safe.
Well, you as well.
All right, man. You take care. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, you too.
All right, bye. All right, that was nice. Thanks, Marine's Blood, for calling in. I appreciate that. I'm glad you got some interaction out of it. I know that we didn't have the world's deepest conversation there, but we just touched base. It's fine. And now the next time you call on, it's not that big of a deal. All right, just wanted to acknowledge everybody in the chats. Dadslav gave $5 and he called in and ended the mystery of who is the Zodiac. Michael Hendricks dropped $10. This is a version of giving a subscription. Salamander gifted 5 subscriptions, which is amazing because she's losing her job in a month. It's very generous. Falk around and find out. Dropped $2 just to tell me that I am loved. So thank you to everyone that dropped super chats. I appreciate you guys. And thank you to the guys who have gifted memberships. Tyler, Lauren, others who have done that. People who have been giving even while they're members. I appreciate every one of you guys that's dropping in on me, hanging out with me, talking to me, everybody that's in the chats. Salamander, Tyler, April, Detzloff, Lauren, Las Mujeres, Drew was here earlier. Abby, we missed out on. Christy, my sister, we missed out on. These people were not here. I'm not exactly sure why. Chase was here. I appreciate Chase being here. Also appreciate Cupcakes, Cameos being here. She even changed her name to come back into the fold. She'll be getting her own emoji here shortly. April, happy birthday. Just wanted to say that. Ben stopped by for a very short time. Thanks to Ben. Felony Melanie was here. David was here. Michael Hendricks, if I didn't say so already. Amy was here. Our USDA approved butter inspector was here. Thank you for being here. Mountain Films, our own producer Dewey, stepped in tonight. We appreciate you for stopping by, checking out the show, hanging out with me. We do it all for you. More to come. As soon as I hear back from Netflix about whether or not I can do stuff with their intellectual property, that'll be launched for you guys. So, and I'm going to be working on even more this weekend. So I'll catch up with you guys, you members, on Monday. It'll be the first membership only Monday show. So thank you to everybody in green, and we'll see you here on Monday. And thanks for hanging out. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. We'll catch you later.